The opinions and views expressed in the following program are those of the speakers and the host, and do not necessarily reflect those of Yoakley Scott Corporation and Your Sports Network.
Yeah, I've been closer to Jesus before, so can you help me out? Oh, can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? Or can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? Or can you help me out? Can you help me out? I've been scared to look at my soul. I've been afraid I would follow alone. Yeah, afraid of the things I've been told.
Welcome into a Tuesday edition of Running Points presented by Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown. Happy Tuesday, one and all. Ron Potesta with you for the next 3 hours. We'll be chatting some sports. Coming up in about 15 minutes, we will hear from the general manager of the Mahoning Valley Scrappers, Jordan Taylor. 3 weeks from yesterday, the 2021 inaugural Major League Baseball Draft League season begins as the Mahoning Valley Scrappers will be in Morgantown, West Virginia, taking on the West Virginia Black Bears. 3 weeks from tomorrow will be the home opener at Eastwood Field as your Scrappers will be taking on the State College Spikes. Yours truly will have the play-by-play for you on ysnlive.com. All season long, you can hear Scrappers baseball and sometimes see Scrappers baseball, depending on where we are. You will hear and see the home portion of this season, or at least we're hoping. You're definitely going to hear it. You may very well see it as well on ysnlive.com. Now, it's really interesting because of the pandemic, and knock on wood, I think we're getting close to getting on the other side of this craziness. But because of the pandemic, the home broadcaster will be essentially broadcasting the game in both markets. So 3 weeks from yesterday, the voice of the West Virginia Black Bears will be broadcasting the game for not only his markets, which is in Morgantown, West Virginia, and the fans of the West Virginia Black Bears. He will also, or she, I'm not sure who the broadcaster is for West Virginia, and it may very well be a woman. Regardless, he or she will be the broadcaster for that particular game 3 weeks from yesterday. When the Scrappers begin the home portion of this season, 3 weeks from tomorrow against State College, yours truly will not only be broadcasting the game for the Scrappers, I'll also be broadcasting the game for those listening in at State College, the home of the Penn State Nittany Lions. And very well known in that area, thank you very much, although it has been a while since I did some things up in State College in the Altoona State College region. It's been about 12 years. So when State College comes to town 3 weeks from tomorrow, I'll be broadcasting the game on ysnlive.com. The feed will also be piped in to the radio station that does the State College Spikes. So every home game, I'll be not only broadcasting for the Scrappers, I'll be providing the feed for the visiting teams, whether it be the West Virginia Black Bears, the State College Spikes, the Williamsport Crosscutters, the Frederick Keys, or the Trenton Thunder. That encompasses the six-team inaugural season of the Major League Baseball Draft League, which will start 3 weeks from yesterday. Scrapper ticket sales start on Friday. Game day tickets. Now, the season tickets have been are still being dispersed as we speak. If you are interested in purchasing season tickets, be it a full plan or a partial plan, you can give the good folks at the Scrappers a call, 330-505-0000. They'll hook you up. If you're just interested in going on a game-by-game basis, ticket prices range from $8 to $13. And again, those tickets are going to be on sale beginning Friday morning at 8:30 a.m. Tickets will be available online at mvscrappers.com. That's www.mvscrappers.com. Or you can call 330-550-0000. That's 330-550-0000. Or by stopping at the box office at Eastwood Field in Niles. The single game ticket prices are going to range, as we mentioned, from $8 to $13. Jordan Taylor will be on in about 10 minutes, and we'll be talking about the upcoming inaugural draft league season. I can tell you there is going to be a promotion that the Scrappers are going to be doing prior to the start of this Major League Baseball Draft League, the inaugural year of the Major League Baseball Draft League. The Scrappers are going to be doing an evening with Coco Crisp. That's going to be at Eastwood Field on May the 19th, beginning at 6 p.m. Tickets are $25. They're limited in quantity. Each ticket includes food and drink, a question and answer session, an autographed photo, and one upper box ticket voucher good for any May home game. The tickets are currently on sale. We'll get to Jordan Taylor about that particular promotion. Again, Coco Crisp is going to be the manager in the inaugural season of the Major League Baseball Draft League, and that is going to be all kinds of fun. Speaking of seasons, for the first time in 2 years, minor league baseball is going to be played. It is opening day in minor league baseball. Consider this: a high percentage of kids completely whiffed, no pun intended, on the 2020 campaign because of COVID. So for a lot of these kids, at least a good 80%, if not more, these kids are going to be playing baseball, I should say, for the first time in 2 years. I mean, the first time in 2 years that these kids have been playing some baseball. So opening day throughout the entire minor league baseball, and lots of changes in minor league baseball. And hopefully, and we'll ask Jordan about this, hopefully, knock on wood, none of these insane rules that Major League Baseball, who now owns minor league baseball, none of these insane rules are going to come into play when we go to the inaugural campaign of the Major League Baseball Draft League. Hopefully that's the case, and we'll get with Jordan Taylor about that also. And I'm sure everyone wants to know, how soon are we going to be talking about the players that are going to be infiltrating into Eastwood Field? I can pretty much let everyone know it's probably not going to be public in terms of the players that are going to be coming to Eastwood. That's probably not going to be public until a few days before the start of the inaugural season. I hate to draw on experience, but, well, I'll say it, and I don't like using this term, but when I was doing this a while back, we would never know 100% for sure. We would never know who our guys were going to be playing in our particular system until about 2 or 3 days before the start of the season. And in some cases, when I was in AA ball, we didn't put our roster out until the day before this season because, well, the roster was changing, and we weren't. Nothing was official until the parent club said, "Hey, it is official." And I remember one time where we did not have the final person, and it came down to the last day of spring training for the minor leaguers, which kid was going to stay in Double-A and which kid was going to be moved to High-A baseball. And we didn't know until the day before the season started. So you get that as well. So it wouldn't surprise me. We will ask Jordan Taylor this, but it would not surprise me based on what I've seen in my years of doing baseball. It would not surprise me if we don't know the roster. We don't know who's on the roster until a couple of days before the season starts. So I'm sure that, and again, the players that are going to be invited in this league, that is courtesy of Prep Baseball Report. And we're in the tail end of the regular season of college baseball, and the high schoolers are still doing their thing. And, I mean, if let's say that one of our kids in the area, which I don't think is going to happen, but let's play Fantasy Island here for a second. Let's say that one of our kids in our area gets invited out of high school, is senior in high school because they're eligible, because they're draft eligible. Let's say one of the seniors in our area gets invited to play in this prestigious league. Well, let's say that particular player and his team make a very deep run. Well, you're not going to see this kid until the high school season is over. Now, it's not just this area, but think about this for a second. Let's assume that one of the high school kids, his high school team makes a deep run in a state tournament, and their season is not done until the first weekend or second weekend in June. Guess what? You're not seeing that kid until the high school season is over. Same thing with college. Let's say that Colin Floyd gets invited to this league. Now, Colin Floyd would be a member of the Scrappers because, well, he's pitching at Youngstown State, and this is more or less a geographical thing, and he would be a draw. Let's be honest, he would be a draw. He's a local kid. He's done extremely well. But let's say that YSU makes a deep run in the tournament. Let's say they go and they win the Horizon League, and they go to the NCAA tournament. Well, we're not seeing Colin Floyd on the Scrappers until the Penguins season is over. And if the Penguins were to get to a super regional, Colin Floyd would probably miss the first few weeks of the inaugural Major League Baseball Draft League. None of these kids are going to be in the draft league until their high school or their college baseball season is completed. And that's part of what is going to be really entertaining to see what kind of kids we get and how many of these kids are going to be staying from beginning to the end of the season. It's going to be an awful lot like minor league baseball if you think about it. All right, we will chat with Jordan Taylor, the general manager of the Mahoning Valley Scrappers. Lots of questions to ask. We'll be back with our interview with the GM of the Scrappers after this timeout. It's a Tuesday edition of Running Point presented by Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown.
New things happen all day. Some are good, some not so good. In today's complicated world, while you're busy working, playing, and living life, we're busy helping you make sense of the day's news. And there's only one place where it comes together with clarity, context, and accountability. It's 21 News at 6 with me, Madison Tromler, and Derek Steyer.
21 News at 6. It's what the day's news really means to you.
Welcome home to a home made homier with Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods. Inspiration starts at BairdBrothers.com and is turned into reality when high-quality hardwoods are delivered right to your home. Baird Brothers has the latest design trends, shiplap and skinny lap interior siding, antique oak rustic flooring, and, well, you'll find them all at BairdBrothers.com. Ordered easily, delivered conveniently, enjoyed comfortably. BairdBrothers.com.
WRS Wealth Advisors, the area's premier wealth and retirement specialists. Located on South Avenue in Boardman.
Hi, this is Jim Myers with Myers Family Insurance, your local Medicare and retirement resource. We're excited to have sports back. Whether you're on the field or cheering from the stands, sports unifies communities and brings hope for the future. We're all one team working together. At Myers Family Insurance, we know the importance of a great team.
Our team continues to grow to help you with your Medicare and retirement needs.
The annual election period is October 15th through December 7th. Now's the time to make sure your plan continues to meet your needs for the upcoming year.
Call today.
Hi, I'm Colin Chupa. And I'm Kelsey Clem from K-Squared Marketing. Our boutique marketing firm specializes in media planning and buying, public relations, event marketing strategies, and strategic sponsorships. We can integrate our services with your existing game plan, or we can be your entire marketing team. Your goals, our game plan. Let's win together. Call K-Squared Marketing at 330-623-2730 or visit ksquared.marketing to learn more.
Your first and last stop with your tax return should be with me, Tracy Bryden at Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. No other dealer goes the extra mile to bring you the largest selection of vehicles at one convenient location. With guaranteed credit approval, I will find you the right vehicle and the right financing options for you. I am ready to go the extra mile to show you why no other dealer sells more cars, finances more, and gets you more for your refund than Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown.
Welcome back to a Tuesday edition of Running Points presented by Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown. And we are pleased to be joined on the MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline by the General Manager of the Mahoning Valley Scrappers, Jordan Taylor. Jordan, how are you today, sir?
I'm doing great. How are you today, Ron?
I'm good. We're a step closer to the start of the inaugural Major League Baseball Draft League. 3 weeks from yesterday, we get the party started in Morgantown, West Virginia. 3 weeks from tomorrow, the home portion of the campaign kicks underway as the Penguins take on, the Scrappers take on the State College Spikes. Some news that came down yesterday. Your game day ticket sales starts on Friday morning, so those interested in purchasing single game tickets on Friday morning, the doors are going to be open, the phone lines are going to be lit, and everyone has an opportunity to pick up a bunch of tickets.
Yep. That'll be the first day. You hit it right on the head there. 8:30 a.m. on Friday. So we've up until that point, the only thing we've made available are our season ticket packages or some of our mini plans that we have for the season. So this will be the first chance if you're looking at specific games to select those and then get your seat secured for that game.
Game ticket prices are going to range from $8 to $13. And I'll tell you what, there's not a bad seat in the house. I mean, Eastwood Field has always been one of the more comfortable places if you're a baseball fan, because there really isn't a bad seat in the house in this stadium.
There's not. There's, we have 6,000 fixed seats, and, even if you go to, the extreme ends of each, I mean, you're still, incredibly close with great sight lines. So it's one of the big advantages we have with the ballpark.
All right, now obviously everyone was disappointed when the news came down months ago that the Scrappers were going to be without the Indians affiliation. I think that everyone is now getting excited for a league that, well, frankly, none of us know if this is going to be popular. I think it's going to be popular. But the newness of the inaugural Major League Baseball Draft League, Jordan, on paper, we've talked about this. On paper, this is a stroke of genius by Major League Baseball.
Yeah. I mean, it's really a first of its kind league. As you mentioned, with some of the shuffling from Major League Baseball and their look at player development. This was part of the evolution of it, and we were fortunate to be able to be one of the 6 teams selected for the first year. But it'll give fans a chance to see very high caliber play on the diamond, and guys who are going to be playing in the big leagues a number of years from now, just very similar to what it was when we were in the New York Penn League.
Well, even though the Indians affiliation is gone, that doesn't mean that the weekly promotions are gone as well. You guys are back to doing your incredible weekday promotions. Tell everyone what's going on at the ballpark.
Yeah, so on the weekly side of things, we're not running a Monday special this year with we only have one home game on a Monday, so that was pretty unique. But on Tuesdays we have a discount day for seniors, and then also an all-you-can-eat ticket promotion where you can add on to your ticket price and get all-you-can-eat food and drinks throughout the game. Wednesdays we have a military special with complimentary tickets for military personnel just by showing an ID. Also on that, we have a concession special on pizza that day on Wednesdays. On Thursdays, that's going to be our Buck Nights, just like in past years, with dollar tickets, hot dogs, and drinks each Thursday night. Fridays will be our fireworks, just like in past seasons. Saturdays are going to be more reserved for our giveaway items, be it bobbleheads, youth jerseys, or between-inning entertainment acts. And then Sundays that's going to be our Every Sunday Matters, where fans can bring in a donation of canned goods or some other items like used clothing or children's books, and they can receive a free ticket for any Sunday home game.
Yeah, Sunday's really cool because it brings out I think it brings out the absolute best in everyone in the Mahoning Valley, and I look forward to Sunday. But the other one that catches my eye, surprise, surprise, the pizza. Are we talking someone in the ballpark making the pizza, or are we talking about branching out and getting one of our fabulous, and I say this with all sincerity, our pizza is not only the best in the state, it's the best in the country. And I've eaten a lot of pizza in a lot of great cities, and no one comes close to our pizza in the Mahoning Valley. Are we talking about some of the best pizza from some of the best pizza places in the Mahoning Valley and rotating?
Yes, so we actually have our pizza provider this year is going to be Pizza Joe's, so a local company, and they will not only be doing pizza, but they're going to be providing pepperoni rolls as well, which will be a new item for us this year.
See, now you got me hook, line, and sinker, because I know Pizza Joe's pizza's pretty top-notch, and their pepperoni rolls are to die for, so that's you have my attention. And I think you're going to have everyone's attention that loves pizza for sure, Jordan.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it for sure.
All right, let's talk a little bit about the season tickets. Now, obviously, the backbone of every organization in professional baseball, or in this case, the inaugural draft league, it's group sales and season ticket sales. The season ticket sales. This is something that do you have a cutoff date, or are you just looking to say, hey, look, anytime someone wants to purchase a season ticket, we're open for business?
Yeah, we are. The bulk of them end up getting purchased, right up to opening day, just to take advantage of all the games. But we'll, prorate season tickets, as we go through games and people get a chance to come out a couple times and decide they want to, be around for most of the home games. So we will prorate seats, and we always leave a number on hold in different sections so people can select a season ticket at any point.
All right, group sales. I know that one of the unique things in previous years was the fact that the Indians affiliation, it certainly brought a lot of cachet to the group sales. What have the success been group sales wise in this inaugural season, Jordan?
Yeah, it's been good. Picked up a lot as some of the restrictions have eased a bit with COVID. So we've gotten a lot of interest. We have groups booking as early as game number 2 for us in a significant way, and then just anticipate as we continue to go through the year, more and more organizations will be signing up for those. But yeah, you are right. Group sales are the lifeblood of any of these professional sports organizations. So it's always been a focus of ours, and we have a lot of different options for people if they want to come out as a group.
Scrappers General Manager Jordan Taylor joining me on the MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline. The last time we had you on, the announcement was made former Indian Coco Crisp would be named the new manager of the Mahoning Valley Scrappers. And, well, you guys have wasted no time in promoting him. There's going to be a evening with Coco Crisp. at Eastwood Field on May the 19th, beginning at 6 o'clock. Tell me a little bit about this promotion.
Yeah, so he is Coco is going to be here coming in about a week before opening day, and we were talking about ways to get involved and discussed having an event with him leading up to the year. So on the 19th of May, we'll have a dinner, drinks, and then he will speak, answer questions, and provide an autograph for any person attending the event, and then any person attending also gets a ticket voucher good for a future Scrappers game. And
the tickets to this evening with manager Coco Crisp start at $25 and limited in quantity. Give everyone an idea where they can get these tickets.
Yep, tickets can be purchased a few ways. You can go online to mvscrappers.com. You can stop by our office at Eastwood Field or call 330-505-00. Someone can help you out.
All right, and obviously the game single game tickets go on sale on Friday as well. Mm-hmm. One of the other things that we talked about last time we spoke, obviously the kids are not going to get paid to play in this league to keep their amateur status, and we do this because, well, if they're paid, then their amateur status is gone, and for high school seniors that are playing, then they're pigeonholed to go into minor league baseball. If a kid still has a year of eligibility left in college and decides he wants to go back to college, well, the only way he can do that is if this league is a league in which the kids are not going to be paid to keep their amateur status. Now, having said all of that, they are going to have to be housed, and with the pandemic, it's been a little kind of difficult for everyone involved. I know that in previous years, you guys had a lot of families that stepped up and provided housing for these kids. With the pandemic, where are we with the housing for these kids?
Yeah, so definitely did create an extra challenge for us this year with the pandemic. So Major League Baseball for this year only wants the players to be housed in one location. So that's what we had to do. We had to pivot off of the host families just for this year, and then have the players housed in one centralized location for the year, just to keep things as safe as possible.
All right, now, obviously, the other part of this, and I made mention of it before we put you on, based on my years of doing minor league baseball, and you can vouch on this. The organization, they sometimes would not give you a roster until 2 or 3 or even the day before the season starts. And I would anticipate the same thing, not because anyone is trying to pull a fast one past the organization, but you also have to understand that let's say a high school kid or a college kid is selected by Prep Baseball Report. Well, we have to wait until this player's baseball season, whether it be high school or college, is done. So I made the scenario, and Jordan, the Ohio High School Athletic Association will be playing their state championships the second weekend in June at Akron, the home of the Rubber Ducks. Now let's say that one of the kids comes out of the state of Ohio and his team goes on an unbelievable ride and they go to the state tournament. Well, hell, we're not going to see this kid until after the season is complete, so it's probably going to be in mid-June before we see this kid.
Yep, you hit it on the head there. So you're right on the roster. So in terms of, in our old system, the roster the actual players who would show up to me from Cleveland, in some cases would change up until the morning of they got on their flight to come to Niles. So there would be some switch ups even the day before we knew they were coming. So it's kind of par for the course for quick turnaround of the roster. But you are right. So there's a lot of change that'll take place with the roster, similar to in the traditional minor league side of things as well. So we'll have guys come and go just like they did with Cleveland, and some guys will show up a little bit later and stay maybe only a handful of weeks, and then others will come in in late May and stay through the end of the year. So everybody's going to be on a case by case basis, and then also the number of players that want to get into the league changes pretty regularly depending on each player's personal situation and where they think they're landing in the draft. So there's going to be a lot of shifting, even right now up until players report here, which is due to be on May 22nd, is the first grouping of players.
Yeah, and here's the interesting part of this. And much like in minor league baseball, I would assume that if someone really, really struggles, they might be told, "Hey, you're not fit for this. See you later," and we'll bring someone else on board.
Yeah, that's exactly what will happen. So I mean, there'll be players who come in who have been identified as have a tool or tools that Major League Baseball wants to see in a different type environment than where they were at. They may not perform well, in a week or 10 days, and they fall off any sort of a radar. That player, would leave, and then somebody will come in to replace him. Mostly that would be somebody who some of the situations you identified, like a D1 college player who was finishing up this conference tournament or, got through, the first round of the playoffs in college and then, was available a little bit later. So that'll definitely happen throughout the year.
And Jordan, on the flip side of this, look, there's nowhere to go. You're not getting promoted.
No.
If you tear this league up, you're not getting promoted. Now, the person may sit back and go, okay, I've torn this league up enough to where I'm confident I'm going to go in this particular round, or I'm going to go really high in the draft, so I'm going to pull out. I don't know if that would be a great idea, because I think a lot of farm directors and GMs of Major League Baseball would look at this and go, this kid has commitment problems because he's pulling out thinking that, he's done enough. I don't know if that would I'm not sure that would really go over well. My thought is it would probably go over as well as someone farting in church.
Yeah, I think so. And a big part of this league, too, is for, the teams to get a good idea on each of these players, personality, work ethic, and so forth. So, that also will be shown here. In a super competitive environment and an environment where you're playing every single day, which is also going to be unique for a lot of the players in this league, to have games 6 days a week and having that travel pretty regularly throughout the summer.
Jordan Taylor, the general manager of the Mahoning Valley Scrappers, joining me on the MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning hotline. And look, college baseball, you have a pretty nice routine, but by and large, at least this year, you're only playing conference games on the weekend. The bigger schools might have a midweek game, but nothing of substance. The high school kids, if you're traveling, you're not traveling all that much. Look, there's a big difference between going on a bus and traveling and playing baseball on a daily basis, and it's baseball 24/7, where in college and high school, it's not baseball 24/7 because you got to work on your studies and you got to stay eligible. There's a big difference, and it's going to be culture shock for some of these kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you get into the grind, and what it does is it just gives them a taste of what it's going to be like once they do get drafted and start their professional career. So this is a good run for them to get exposed to high level coaching, analytics, player development processes, and what ideally it does is makes the players much more prepared when they do start their careers, and hopefully, hit on these teams. Then the major league teams can hit on a higher percentage of draft picks, and make best use of their dollars that they're investing in players.
Well, and for me, I think it's going to be going back to the conversation we had. If someone goes on a tear early in the campaign, that temptation might be, hey, I'm going to shut it down. Look, I just conquered this league. Well, let's back up a couple of steps, because we've mentioned this, the day-to-day grind of minor league baseball. You have no idea how difficult and how mentally draining this is for everyone involved in Major League Baseball on a daily basis. And we're, even the people that are doing it in the home games exclusively. I mean, everyone, and I have to put some truth serum into you to have you admit this, but everyone toward the end of a long homestand is looking forward to having the team on the road so they don't have to go through with this stuff, for a couple of days. It is a really big-time grind for everyone involved in minor league baseball, and I think those that are able to go from beginning to the draft and conquer it to the tune of having a really good year, a breakout year, I think they're going to help themselves incredibly well, not just position-wise in the draft, but ultimately financially, because you and I know there's a big difference between being a 10th-round pick and a second or a third-round pick.
Yeah, and that's really what the league is about is those players that the opportunity and doing well in this league, potentially, changes their fortune significantly. I mean, just the scenario you provided, I mean, the 10th round pick, may get, say, on average, $100,000 signing bonus, whereas if you pop into the second round, you're flirting with $1 million, plus in some cases, and third round, $500,000-$600,000. So I mean, it's a huge difference. So there's great motivation to do well in that 2.5 month window to really enhance your financial situation, and also once you do get into your organization, generally the higher your pick, the more opportunity you're going to have, once you do hit that major league organization. So I mean, it's this is really going to provide these players with a great opportunity to hopefully enhance their status and give them the best chance possible to be successful pros.
Minor League Baseball starts today, and for the kids, it'll be the first time in a couple of years that these kids have been able to play minor league baseball. Now, this year in low A ball, I think in the former Florida State League, they're going to go with computerized strike zone. So the home plate umpire is not going to be calling balls and strikes. It's going to be an automatic computer that's going to be doing the balls and strikes. In Double-A ball, everyone is going to have to stay in the infield. There is going to be no infielder put in the outfield. They're going to cut down on the shift. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to stay in your position. You could certainly put 3 people over on the right side of the infield if a left-hander is up, but all 3 of them have to stay in the infield. In AAA ball, instead of a 15 by 15-inch bag, it's now going to be an 18 by 18-inch bag. All of these changes made in I'm not buying any one of them. I think baseball in its purest form should be left alone inside the diamond, and if you want to change anything, then make a change that does not have to do within the structure of the game of baseball. Having said all of that, are there going to be any of these type of rules coming into the draft league?
Yeah, I haven't seen anything like that as of yet. I would anticipate over time we probably will see some experimentation, but nothing I've seen that's really out of whack or not normal from traditional baseball side of things. I mean, it's just going to be from pitchers. You're going to keep them on innings limits. In this league, which is going to be important just to preserve their arms. So we'll have more pitchers than I'd say a traditional minor league team would have, just to be able to keep people as healthy, pitchers as healthy as possible. But we've been told as we go along, there may be some tweaks just to see if they want to test something out and see if it works or not. I think all of the teams that are now tied into Major League Baseball, that's going to be a part of this, at some level. So, but I would say yes at the end of the day, but nothing immediate.
Obviously, it's going to be relatively the same in terms of a 5-man rotation, lots of pitching. When do we expect the pitching coach and the hitting coach and all of these coaches? When do we expect these hires to be taking place, Jordan?
Yep, all are done. We should be having those announced, real soon here for the rest of the staff. So we'll have a pitching coach, a hitting coach, and then a pitching kind of an assistant on the pitching side of things, just due to the number of arms that we'll have with the team.
Are we talking about former big leaguers with these roles as well?
Yeah. So one former big leaguer will be part of that coaching staff with Coco, and then another who has been in the minor league side or was in the minor league side for quite some time as a player, and then another who has more of a college player development focus.
Jordan Taylor, Mahoning Valley Scrappers General Manager, joining me on the MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline. You guys had a job fair recently. How did that go?
We did. We got a good number of people from that we've hired. Quite honestly, we're still looking for more. So if anybody is interested in a fun summer job, or have applications available online or stop in the office, we're always looking to bring on good people.
All right, hey, before we let you go, any word from Prep Baseball Report? I got to believe that they're somewhat looking at, being that we're within 3 weeks of opening day, I got to believe that they have some idea as to who is going to be coming into this league.
Yep, for sure. So we've had we got an initial list. Gosh, I'd say maybe a week ago of players. So we'll have we will have a handful that are going to have some local connection, as we mentioned. Once as we've talked over the past few months, but they are changing that roster, almost on a daily basis at this point. So our anticipation is kind of the week of the season we would announce, just to get it as clean as possible, not have people on there who may get taken off, in the next handful of days.
Now, I got to ask if Colin Floyd is on this roster, because, it makes so much sense. The left-handed pitcher from Youngstown State University, who is having an absolutely fantastic year.
Mm-hmm.
It makes sense. And obviously you don't have to answer the question, but
Sure.
Is he on the roster?
We're not able to announce yet, but he's having a great year. He would be a great fit.
You'd make a really good politician, Jordan. I'm just saying. The senator job is open. I'm just saying you might want to consider that. You skirted that question like a politician would. I give you credit, sir.
Thanks. Thank you.
Obviously, this is a really, really busy time for everyone who's working with the Scrappers, and just the inaugural campaign. Is there a extra spring in the step for everyone? And not just because we didn't have baseball in 2020, but I would imagine that's part of the reason. But the fact that this is an inaugural campaign, this is the first of its kind. Is there a sense of excitement within the organization, and do you feel the sense of excitement within the Mahoning Valley?
Yeah, there is, and you hit on it with prefacing it with not playing last year. I think there's a lot of just pent up demand for going to events and in particular games. With us in the summertime, which has become a tradition in the Mahoning Valley. But again, from our standpoint as well, this has been a ton of work, but it's really exciting, and being able to partner up as strongly as we have with Major League Baseball on the things they're doing. And as I mentioned, it's not a short-term partnership. So we are obviously in a scramble to get everything up and running in a short time frame this year. But as we're developing and listening to their vision for the league and opportunities that are going to be available for the community and the ties to Major League Baseball, it's really going to be something special, as we go through the years with this new venture.
Major League Baseball is putting its stamp of approval in terms of this is their baby. Obviously, they have some pretty heavy hitters that are going to be involved in this, and obviously one big name is Ken Griffey Jr. How important or how big of a role is Jr. going to have in the draft league, and will we see Ken Griffey Jr. on occasion at Eastwood Field this year?
Yeah, that I'm not sure on the last one. I know he's tied in, pretty heavily on, the amateur style leagues that Major League Baseball created with us and also in some levels below us. So I know that's something he's pretty tied into. But we will have, from our talks with Major League Baseball, a lot of former big leaguers that'll be coming in and talking to the players, about their experience and what it takes to be a pro. So I think, as we go through the years, we should see a lot of, big name players, former players come through, and hopefully have opportunities to connect with them as they're through here with our fans.
Well, just make sure that they know that they're open invite whenever they want to come into the booth, and we can have a little bit of fun with them for a half an inning, an inning, or whatever.
Yep, absolutely.
Hey, Jordan, always a pleasure. Look forward to the start of the year. Before I let you go, remind everyone, May the 19th. It's coming up pretty quickly. 2 weeks from tomorrow, as a matter of fact. May the 19th at Eastwood Field at 6 p.m. An evening with manager Coco Crisp. Tickets are $25. They're limited in quantity. The ticket includes food and drink, a question and answer session, an autograph photo, one upper deck box ticket voucher good for any May home game. How have the ticket sales gone, and where can these fans get the tickets?
Yep, they've gone very well. So if interested in those, I would recommend sooner than later picking those up. Online, you can get those 24 hours a day at mvscrappers.com, or stop by our box office, or give us a call at 330-505-00, and we can get you set up.
Always a pleasure, sir. Look forward to catching up with you soon.
Yep, thank you, Ron.
You got it. Jordan Taylor, General Manager of the Mahoning Valley Scrappers. We'll take a timeout. Open up the phone lines. The MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline open for business. 330-886-0813. We're back in a bit. It's Tuesday edition of Running Point on ysnlive.com.
At Greenwood Chevrolet, we go the extra mile for you.
By finding you the right vehicle at the right price.
By giving you confidence in your vehicle with the Greenwood Advantage warranty.
By guaranteeing you financing,
regardless of your situation or credit history.
And by being with you for every mile of your journey.
Now, we're going the extra mile for you with an additional $1,500 on your trade, plus the best selection of new and used vehicles in the area.
Visit greenwoodchevrolet.com and tell us how we can go the extra mile for you.
Quality, customer service, and integrity. Those are the 4 words that have driven our success since 1957 at Joe Dickey Electric.
Joe Dickey Electric is one Mahoning Valley landmark business that stays current with the requirements of our customers. Family owned and managed, we are an electrical contractor and energy solutions provider. Every member of our team adds to his or her skill set through ongoing training. Residential, commercial, industrial, automotive, and more. We keep ahead of the needs of our customers with a fleet of more than 50 vehicles and 24/7 emergency service, so you're never left in the dark.
Jimmy Sutton here, Director of Isle, Purple Cat, and Golden String. We are happy to support YSN and 2 of my favorite people, Scotty Mincher and Super Dave O'Malley. We are an agency that provides services for adults with disabilities. We infuse humor, passion, and joy into their lives. If you know of any folks with disabilities that need our assistance, please contact us.
Your teams work hard and give it all they've got. Well, so does ours, because 21 Sports and YSN give you extra effort when covering local sports. 21 Sports and YSN, winning coverage of our Valley's teams.
When looking for home design inspiration, don't just be inspired, be Baird inspired. Whether new or remodeling, Baird Brothers has the latest trends like shiplap to refresh your home. Go from inspiration to installation with our wide selection of in-stock American hardwoods. From the rustic charm of antique oak to the warmth of traditional cherry, Baird Brothers has what you need to make your home inspiring. Baird Brothers, our family's heritage, your family's home.
Hello, I'm Greg Burbik with G. Burbik Farms. For the last 100 years, my family has farmed in Columbiana and Mahoning counties. I began raising cattle in 1996 with the goal of providing a better product for you and your family on the dinner table. Our grass-fed and grain-supplemented Black Angus beef are raised with no hormones, steroids, or antibiotics. We're known for our hometown-friendly service and incredible tasting products. We're locally owned and have customers across the tri-state area. Our products go from our farm to your family. Stop by our farm on New Buffalo Road or visit us on the web at gburbikfarms.com. Don't forget to like us on Facebook. G. Burbik Farms, it just tastes better.
Hi, this is Tommy Clem, owner of WRS Insurance Solutions.
WRS Insurance Solutions is a local independent agency that specializes in life, Medicare, long-term care, and disability products. Call us at 330-953-3722 or visit us at wrsinsuranceSolutions.com to learn more.
Good luck to all the student athletes in the Valley.
If you're looking for a quality pre-owned vehicle, why shop anywhere else but Tri-State Ford? Choose from our great selection of pre-owned vehicles. Plus, we've got you covered with our exclusive Tri-State Ford Advantage. It includes a 10-year, 200,000-mile warranty with your pre-owned vehicle and much more. Come see why so many customers from the Tri-State area buy their pre-owned vehicle at Tri-State Ford.
Customer focus, community driven. Tri-State Ford East Liverpool or visit tristateford.net.
Welcome back to a Tuesday edition of Running Point presented by Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown. Ron Potesta with you. MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline open for business. 330-886-0813. That's 330-886-0813. Cavaliers making some news today. Oh, boy, I don't know where the hell they got him, but Anderson Varejao is back. He spent 12 years with the Cavaliers and then left before the Cavs won the NBA championship. He's been gone for about 5 years, but he's back with the Cavaliers, signed a 10-day contract with the Cavaliers. They're 21-43 on the campaign. They've lost 6 consecutive games. They have 5 home games left in the 2020-2021 campaign. He hasn't played in an NBA game in 4 years. The last time he played in an NBA game, he was at Golden State. And he's 38 years old. This is pretty much the opportunity for Varejao to sign a 10-day contract, and that would be the last contract that he signs. It would be the opportunity for Anderson Varejao, who spent 12 years with the Cavaliers, to retire as a Cleveland Cavalier. Look, there's a lot of people that are giving this front office all kinds of grief. They let Kevin Porter Jr. go. Kevin Porter Jr. recently had 50 points in a game for the Houston Rockets. Kevin Love has, in a lot of people's mind, has been a pain in the ass with the Cavaliers. He really did something stupid last week out of frustration. It's just been a really bad campaign, and I know a lot of people want to sit back and throw arrows at the organization. Let me remind everyone that for most of this NBA season, the Cavaliers have had injuries, all kinds of injuries. to the point where in the last few games, 7 players have been on the injured list. Of those 7 players, good majority of them saw a good majority of minutes. So to sit back and say the front office is clueless, well, you got to remember the organization got hit with an injury bug this year. I said it earlier in the year. I thought this team, if they stayed healthy, they were a playoff team. They would be a 7 seed. They would be an 8 seed. The problem with the Cavaliers is there wasn't much depth. And if there was an injury bugaboo that hit the Cavaliers, it would be a season that goes sideways. Well, guess what? You had an injury-plagued campaign, and guess what? The season went sideways. Gee, what a freaking surprise. Anybody that knows anything about basketball knew the Cavaliers were sunk once they had all kinds of injuries. And truth be told, the rebuild really hasn't gone that bad. If this team had been healthy, as I said, this team would have been a playoff team this year. And all these morons that are basically shooting their mouth off with no knowledge of the product would basically be shut up. And maybe this is the best thing to happen to the Cavs, especially if they can get their hands on the top pick or the second pick in the upcoming NBA draft. That would be wonderful. Of course, the Cavs' luck in recent years has kind of gone south. Look, I don't know what's going to happen. I hope that J.B. Bickerstaff stays. I hope that Kobe Altman stays. I think that the rebuild has not been a bad rebuild in terms of what they have done. It's been a bad rebuild in terms of the ridiculous amount of injuries, especially this year, that have made the organization look really bad. If this team had been healthy, as I said, this team is a playoff team. It finishes in the 7 or the 8 seed, and the progression would be there. But, unfortunately, this isn't a playoff team because of the injuries, because there isn't a lot of depth on this team. And that's part of the rebuild. You have to have a lot more depth. Hopefully, fingers crossed, knock on wood, Cavaliers get a top 2 selection in the upcoming lottery because Cavs have been eliminated from the postseason. Hopefully they get the first or second pick in the upcoming NBA draft and get a really good player that's going to continue to have this club back to where it should be, which is the NBA playoffs. Now, I don't think this team is anywhere close to being a serious contender. Even if they had been healthy, they would have been bounced in the first round of the playoffs. They still need some young talents, and they still need guys like Kevin Love to stop being injured all the time and get himself healthy and on the floor. Whether that happens or not remains to be seen. We will talk a little bit about that later in the show. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we will hear from the voice of the YSU men's basketball program, Rob Schmidt. Recently, it was announced Naz Bohannon is going to be looking elsewhere to play basketball. What does this mean for the basketball program? Well, obviously, it's a tremendous hit to this basketball program. Naz Bohannon was clearly the best player on this team last year and arguably the best player on this team the last 3 years. What life is going to be like without Naz, we're going to find out. Rob Schmidt will join us after the break. Stick around. It's a Tuesday edition of Running Point presented by Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown.
No matter what the weather, be prepared with a reliable, efficient Rude gas furnace or air conditioner from MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning. Call your energy-efficient expert, MP Vivo, today for a free estimate.
Here at MP Vivo, we rely on Rude, and so should you.
It's storm season.
I think we're under the gun for some heavy storms over the next couple of hours.
And Storm Tracker 21 is ready.
This is probably the one we're keeping a closer eye on.
On air.
And locally, we're going to have a lot of eyes on our area.
Online.
All right, let's talk high-risk futurecast and the timing of this weather.
On social media and on our app.
Rain will come and go tomorrow. There'll be some dry intervals.
Stay ready with Storm Tracker 21.
The severe weather threat now through around sunset this evening.
Myers Family Insurance knows the importance of a great team.
Our team continues to grow to help you with your Medicare and retirement needs.
The annual election period is October 15th through December 7th. Now's the time to make sure your plan continues to meet your needs for the upcoming year.
Call today.
"60 years ago, Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods began with 3 siblings, a hand-set sawmill, and a few local orders. And while business has certainly changed over the years, what has not are our principles of hard work, craftsmanship, and commitment to quality. At Baird Brothers, we're proud to put our name on the products we create, from moldings and doors to flooring and lumber. Thank you for 60 great years. We look forward to 60 more. Baird Brothers, for the place you love."
At Hubbard Chevrolet, Hubbard can help you get the financing you need regardless of your situation. I'm Tony Page, and I've helped thousands of customers in Northeast Ohio and Western Pennsylvania buy a vehicle. Bad credit, no problem. I can get you approved for a low-interest loan and maybe even a low-payment lease on a new car at the #1 Chevy dealership in Trumbull County for 3 years in a row. Visit HubbardChevy.com to get pre-approved or come see me, Tony Page, to get a new vehicle today. Remember, folks, Hubbard can help.
Welcome back to a Tuesday edition of Running Point, presented by Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown. Ron Potesta with you. MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline, not open for business yet because, well, we're going to be speaking with Mr. Fantasy Baseball himself, the man who is currently owning the Fantasy Baseball League that he and I are partaking in right now. He is the voice of the YSU men's basketball program and a baseball connoisseur extraordinaire, Mr. Rob Schmidt. Mr. Schmidt, sir, how are you today?
And let me preface this by saying that our league that we're in, that we're all part of, is a for entertainment-only league. There are no registration fees or no payout. We just play for fun. I don't want anybody thinking I'm out there creating any NCAA violations because employees here are not allowed to partake in any kind of pay fantasy baseball or football or basketball league.
Yeah, there are no Skittles involved in this league. It is a purely pride league, bragging rights, and right now you're the only one that's undefeated and untied.
That's correct.
So congratulations to you. Although I provided the tie to Rick Love. I'm 1-1-2. I don't know how the hell I got 2 ties. My team should be rolling everybody. Unfortunately, my team's off to a slow start.
A little sluggish, but long way to go.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. Last week, we wound up getting the news that I don't think any one of us wanted to hear, and frankly, I thought it was a little surprising that Naz Bohannon decided that he wanted to go elsewhere for his final year of eligibility. This is a huge, huge blow to the Penguins basketball program in terms of getting probably the most decorated Penguin in the Jared Calhoun era of YSU baseball. YSU basketball. More importantly, the leadership of Naz Bohannon is going to be missed.
Yeah, no, I think it was a surprise. I think if you talk to most people around the program, I think they felt not that it was a for sure thing. There's no 100% until you come out and say it, obviously, but I think they felt the odds were in their favor that he would return. But again, in today's world now, when you see all these student athletes going to the portal, whether it's men's basketball, women's basketball, football, I think curiosity starts to play a factor in all of this. Like, okay, if this guy who I know is in our league has gone to the portal and they all communicate through social media in one way offers from this, and this, and eventually settled and found a new place to go play. So I think curiosity weighs into it. Nas obviously gave us his all for 4 years. He was, as you had mentioned, the cornerstone. He was one of the first players to come in with Coach Calhoun. And I've said to several people, to me, if you take away the COVID year, then this is all a moot point because he played his 4 years here at Youngstown State. And, obviously, had a fantastic career. 1,000 points, 1,000 rebounds. Just was a superb individual on and off the floor. And he'll do well wherever he goes. He'll exceed expectations wherever he goes. That's the kind of guy that Nas Bohannon is. He rises to the occasion. So I think curiosity plays into it. I think they want to know what else is out there for them. I think they want to measure themselves against other players. Like, I know that I'm as good, if not better than this guy. He went there. What can I do? Sometimes that may come back and blow up in your face, but I think they want to at least explore these opportunities. And for Nas, being that he's a graduate and he's already put his 4 years here, overseas is always an option for him to go over and play professionally if he chooses not to go to another school for his final year of eligibility. So I just think he wanted to weigh all those options. I think he wanted to see what was out there for him. I wish him well, and he gave us everything he could. I mean, that kid exceeded any expectations people may have had of him. People still think that maybe he'd have been better served to play football. But it sure was a heck of a basketball player. It sure was a lot of fun to watch play.
Rob Schmidt, the YSU men's basketball broadcaster, joining me on the MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline. The good news for some of the kids that were getting a little bit of time, there's an open starting spot in the rotation for the basketball coach Jared Calhoun, and for the bigs, the young bigs. This is a golden opportunity for some of those kids to nail down that spot and try to fill the huge void that's left with Nas Bohannon. And this is a golden opportunity for the Sheikh Traores, the Will Dunns, and some of the other young and big players on this YSU team.
No, you're right. I mean, you've now got to find someone or several someones who can fill 30 minutes a game. So, you're right. That opens up a lot of playing time for a lot of those guys on the roster. And really now when you look at the men's roster with the departure of Bohannon and Quisenberry, you lose roughly 30 points a game between the two. So, when they went into last season, and albeit they had that high preseason ranking because they were returning 4 starters. What happened was, after those 4, you had a lot of youth. So, those kids all had a chance to play. You've mentioned a couple of them, and to me now, I think somebody's got to really step to the forefront. Somebody's really got to take it upon themselves to be that difference maker. We saw flashes out of all those kids that you talked about, whether it was Sheikh or Will Dunn or Miles Hunter, Alex Vargo, Daniel Agoro. You saw flashes out of all those guys, but other than Shamar Rattan-Mays, nothing consistent. So somebody's going to have to find a way. Maybe it's one of these incoming players. They've got 4 players, I believe, coming here from the portal. They've got 4 incoming freshmen. So, there's a lot of new faces, and somebody's going to have to take that role. So you're right. It's an opportunity for those guys that maybe were in the wings, and my time will come. Well, their time is coming, and it's coming quicker than maybe they expected.
Rob, I made mention of the 4 years that Jared Calhoun has been here. The freshman class, his last recruiting class, not this one, the class with Sheikh and Alex Vargo and Will Dunn. I thought that was his best class. And I still believe, talent-wise, that class is even better than the original class that he brought in when he became the head basketball coach at Youngstown State University. And I really believe that you're going to see the absolute best from the Alex Vargos and the Will Dunns. And I think that those kids are going to now understand, hey, we all have an opportunity here to really cement our legacy at Youngstown State University. I loved this recruiting class when it came out last year. I really believe with a repeat freshman year, we are going to see not just Shamar Rattan-Mays. I think we are going to see this entire freshman class sparkle beyond belief with this basketball program.
Well, I hope so. That's a big that's a lot of expectations on those guys because when that first class came in, other than Jeff Hampterian, who redshirted, and he's one of the kids that has gotten his degree, is now going to transfer to Fort Hays State. But Garrett played right away. Akuche played right away. Nas played right away. Those guys, there was a lot expected of them, and they delivered. Now the foundation has been set. The bonus was those kids that were freshmen a year ago not only had a chance to really kind of ease their way into the program, now they get the whole year back. That's the crazy thing, is that these kids now get the whole year back. So what they learned last year, what they were able to and not able to accomplish, it's not a do-over. It's just, okay, they're a year ahead of where Nas, Garrett, and Akuche were following their first year, because these guys technically have not completed their first full year of college basketball. So, it's that way across the country, obviously, with the COVID rule, but it really does lend itself to having these incoming freshmen from a year ago really put together some splendid careers because they learned so much and it didn't count against their eligibility. So you're right. This class that's currently a group of freshmen really could make a big difference here at YSU because they've got a sense of the league, they have a sense of college basketball. Hopefully the game slows down for them quicker and they can contribute sooner.
One of the things that I'm looking forward to in this basketball campaign, and look, whether Nas was here or whether he wasn't here, and now we find out that he's not going to be here, the expectation level for the Penguins was going to be nowhere near where it was at last year. I mean, you had guys like Dick Vitale even throwing out the gauntlet saying YSU is going to be heard from in the Horizon League. You're not going to see any of that this year. I think a lot of folks nationally are not even going to utter Youngstown State's in the same sentence with is this team going to win the Horizon? I think that all is going to go take a back seat in a stretch limousine, and that's not a bad thing for the Penguins because now you can be the Cleveland State of last year where nobody's expecting you to do anything, and quietly behind the scenes you sucker punch someone to the ground.
Well, and I think that was part of their downfall last year was, as I mentioned, after the starting five, or actually the starting four that was returning, there was a lot of new players. I don't think there was as much depth that they may have expected on last year's team. Well, that doesn't seem to be a problem this year, but you're right, because now you've lost, let's say 30 points, you're averaging 75 a game. You've roughly lost, 35, 40% of your scoring with two players departing. People are going to be like, well, who's going to fill in? We know what Akuche is like. We know what Covington is like. We know what those other – who's going to pick up the slack? So, no, I would easily see – and then again, preseason is what preseason rankings are. I'd easily see a number 5 or a number 6 preseason ranking. People are obviously going to point at Cleveland State. They really didn't lose anybody. They lost 2 players to the portal, but they weren't major contributors. They've added a player through the portal. Obviously, everybody looks at Wright State. They've become the standard. And then, as I was even told as early as today, or as soon as today, that you just don't know what everyone's roster looks like because it's still, everybody is still in flux. There are so many kids still coming and going that you really aren't going to know who is going to be, who on paper is going to be what until this all slows down, and that could be as late as October. So everybody's roster is in flux. I mean, everybody. Milwaukee, apparently, from what I read, lost its 1 or 2 best player yesterday, Tejon Lucas. So everybody's still going through a state of flux, whether you're losing or gaining players. It'll be hard to pick a top 5, a top 12, in the summer. It really will, because you just don't know who's got what on their roster.
Well, and the scary thing is, if the Penguins are busy and they decide that they want to go into the transfer portal and grab a couple of kids, well, if their scholarship's now to the limit, they can sit back and say, hey, we're pulling your scholarship to one of the kids that may not be cutting the mustard. And that's part of the cruelty of the business. I use air quotes when I say that. But if it's an opportunity to make this program better, hey, it wouldn't surprise me if the Penguins add a couple of more kids.
Yeah, the tough thing is for coaches, they really try to balance that, and they really weigh the pros and cons. When you bring a player in and you tell their parents that, we're going to take care of him for 4 years, we're going to help him mature, help him develop, and you just don't want to have that reputation of running kids off so easily, because then the parent would say, hey, you told this kid that, and a year later he's on the streets. It's a tough. I'm not saying it's not the right decision, because you're right. You've got to make your team better. Your job as a coach is to win games, but I don't think that's their sole job. I think you talk to most coaches, regardless of the sport, it's building character, it's making players become mature adults. It's relationships that you build with those players. Sometimes that gets lost because of the wins and losses, because at different levels there's so much money there, whether it's in the coaching ranks or what you can make in tournaments. It becomes a business, as we all know. But I know coaches really, they hate having to be faced with that decision. It is a decision, as you mentioned, that sometimes you have to make, but they don't weigh into it lightly. It's not something they just go into willy-nilly. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how these next, 6 weeks play out.
Rob, before we let you go, and we're speaking with the basketball play-by-play broadcaster, Rob Schmidt, Youngstown State play-by-play basketball broadcaster, joining me on the MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline. It's never too early to talk about scheduling. Is there any word on a non-conference schedule for the Penguins in this coming basketball season?
I don't think there's anything official. You can draw correlations to where you are. Like, before COVID, the guys had entered into a home-and-home series with Southeast Missouri. SEMO had come here, so, our guys owe them a trip. So one of the games that should be on the schedule for non-league play should be at SEMO, because it's the back half of that home-and-home series. You still owe West Virginia a game in the 2-for-1. You went there, played here, and I'm not sure if that would be this year, next year, but they still owe a trip to the Mountaineers. So there's two games that you could maybe pencil in if you're trying to draw lines and do some backtracking. But I don't know if they've put anything. I don't know if they've put anything officially in the books as far. Now remember that the amount of non-league games that both the YSU men and women are going to play will more than likely be lessened this year by 2, because if I'm not mistaken, the league's probably going to go to a 22-game schedule. So last year in the league you played 20. In previous years you played anywhere from 20 to 18 to 16. But now with the addition of Robert Morris, and if everything goes back to normal for scheduling, you're playing a 22-game Horizon League schedule. So now, if you play a 31-game schedule with an exempt tournament, that only gives you 9 non-league games to have to fill. If you don't play in an exempt, you're only playing 29 games. You only got to worry about finding 7 non-league games. So, the amount of non-league games they got to find is 2 less. So I'm sure they're trying to find the right 7 or 9 that they got to fit in.
And you brought up the scheduling by the Horizon League. Are we going to go back to the normal scheduling where you go 2 rounds with the league, or are they going to stay with the insanity of play the team back-to-back, same home floor?
I sure hope it goes back to Thursday, Saturday with travel partners as it had in the past. I wouldn't be discouraged. I don't think they will, but I'd like to get away from travel partners. But I don't think that's going to happen. But I would imagine that this league's going back to a Thursday, Saturday format that we've seen in the past, where you'll play one team on a Thursday and then the second travel partner on a Saturday, or even a Friday, Sunday, depending on television. So yeah, I think it goes back to normal. I think it goes back to what we're used to.
Well, now the $1 million question is, who does YSU get paired up with? I mean, I would think we get paired up with Robert Morris, because Robert Morris is the far eastern part of this league, and YSU is the second furthest eastern point in this league. And Cleveland State would then have to get paired up with God knows who, because Detroit and Oakland get paired up because they're so close to each other. Wright State gets paired up with Northern Kentucky. I mean, it's kind of a weird scenario now if we're going travel partners.
Well, it would be Cleveland State and Purdue Fort Wayne. So you're right. It would be YSU Robert Morris, Cleveland State, Purdue Fort Wayne, and then everything else would go back to normal with Oakland and Detroit Mercy, Northern Kentucky Wright State, UIC, IUPUI, and then the two Wisconsin schools in Green Bay and Milwaukee.
It makes for some interesting travel, and certainly it would make for some very interesting basketball. 22 league games, and as you said, if you have an exempt tournament, you can go 9 non-conference opponents. If you don't have any tournaments, then you're going 7 non-conference opponents. I'm all about going to Hawaii, the Virgin Islands, or some exotic place. So tell Jared to get us there so we can have some fun.
I think if they could, they would. I guarantee you that.
I mean, look. If you guys are going to be in the Bahamas or in the Virgin Islands or in Hawaii, you got to hook your guy up so we can have the color commentator follow you, so I can have some fun with this team.
I might have you do it by Zoom. might have you stuck in a studio and do it remote.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Yeah, that would be great. Yeah, that's
your luck.
Yeah, well, exactly. And then I'd know what Hammy and Rosie and all the other major league guys are going through because they can't follow their team on the road. God, that's horrible.
I'm glad for you. I'm looking forward to this summer. I got to tell you, I'm looking forward to hearing you once again with an opportunity to call baseball. So I'm excited for you and happy that the Scrappers have an opportunity to work with you and you work with them this summer.
Okay, listen, I got to ask, are you going to be doing the PA announcing this summer?
I have officially retired as the public address announcer at Eastwood Field.
Wow.
Yeah, it was time for me. I did it for 10 years. The people there, as you know, I know you had Jordan on a little bit ago, and I know you're going to end up working with them closely. They're outstanding people.
Oh, yes,
if
they
you
are.
haven't had a chance to be at a Scrappers game, whether it was the old minor league affiliation or the new, make a point of getting out there. They're great people. They work really hard, and I wish them nothing but the best. They were kind to me, and I had some fun summers as the public address announcer. But they were able to find a couple of youngsters, or one in particular, Richie Giuliano, will be taking over for me as the PA announcer at Eastwood Field. So
nice.
Richie will do a great job, and it was just time, with the transition from the Indians to the new MLB draft, and with some other time constraints that I have with family matters, it was time for me to kind of step aside, and they understood, and I appreciate all the Scrappers did for me. I'll still get a chance to go to a game or two, but I guarantee I'll be listening to several games.
Well, I was going to say, you better get your butt down here for a game or two to support this team. I mean, we're going to have a blast watching this product and just the newness of this league. I'm looking forward to seeing who the other coaches are. I look forward to getting to know Coco Crisp, and this is just going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I think everybody obviously is still uncertain about the roster, and I know Jordan probably has an idea, but it'll probably be a roster that'll be in flux. But for me, it's an event. It's just like when you come to a YSU football game or a YSU basketball game. It's an event. This weekend, we've got the Horizon League outdoor track and field meet here at YSU. Next weekend, we've got the Horizon League softball championships here. So those are events. Those are just things that you like to go to. I think they got very lucky, or it was a great stroke of luck that Coco Crisp is the manager. I think that's a guy that people can relate to. I think it's a guy they can identify with, and it still allows them to keep their Indian ties, which was huge. But no, I think it'll be a lot of fun, and I know you'll do a great job, as you always have done with the call of the baseball game.
Well, you brought up the softball team hosting the Horizon League tournament. Looks like the baseball team is going to be in the top four. Now there's still some work to do, but certainly they look more and more like a top four team, and it'll be cool to see if the guys and the gals can find themselves winning conference championships and getting themselves into the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, both coaches have done a great job. Brian Campbell has had an outstanding season. I mean, his team can hit, they can pitch. I mean, he's just had a phenomenal year. That's the first time that they've ever won the regular season championship in the Horizon League. And, I think they'll be the favorites because they are at home, but because they hit the ball. And they have two great pitchers in Matty Lusk and Ellie Buffenbarger that I think that gives you a great 1-2 punch. And Dan Bertolini has done a super job. I know this is the year that they were hoping to have a season ago when they got wiped out by COVID. So I think they pointed to this season, and so far, they've done a really good job. And you're right. I mean, they got a little bit tougher road to climb. Wright State's very good. UIC, as they found out over the weekend, is very good when at home. And then you got Northern Kentucky that is going to be a tough team, or Milwaukee. One of those, could be a dark horse in the tournament that'll only have 4 teams. So we wish Coach Berto the best, and they've been out at Eastwood Field. They've had a lot of success this year playing at home. It's been one of their catalysts. So I think they've got a big series coming up, if I'm not mistaken, this weekend against Purdue-Fort Wayne.
Yeah, the Mastodons come into town, and hopefully the Penguins take care of them, dispatch them in 4, and maybe that's enough to get them into the postseason. I know Northern Kentucky and Milwaukee have both struggled. Hopefully, the magic number right now at 7, which is any combination of YSU wins and currently any Northern Kentucky or Milwaukee losses equaling 7. But you go by the 5th place team. So, I mean, it's going to be fun. Regardless, I think the Penguins, if they can play really good baseball the final 12 games, get hot, finish 9-3, 10-2 minimum, boy, oh boy, are they going to be ready for the tournament.
I agree. And, you got a stud pitcher who can get you through game 1 in the tournament, and really once you get past that first game, the double elimination really allows you to get deeper into the tournament. So, I think they hit the ball really well. I think it'll be a lot of fun. I mean, I know our guys in athletic communications, they've had a busy spring. Women's golf just won the Horizon League championship. Our women's tennis team got to the title match, and eventually lost to the women from UIC. But it's been a busy spring for those guys. But it's been a lot of fun to watch our teams do really well this spring.
Well, it's been a busy spring for the sports information department. My goodness, you guys have. Let me put it to you this way: I have made a fortune on the investing in coffee and the stock market. So I thank you guys very much. You've fattened my wallet because I knew that coffee was going to be huge around Youngstown State. So my fortunes have become very good thanks to you guys.
Anytime we can help you, bud, we're here for you.
Always a pleasure, sir. Look forward to seeing you soon.
Thanks, Ron.
All right, see ya. Rob Schmidt, Mr. Schmidt, the voice of the YSU men's basketball program, joining me on the MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline. We take a timeout, be back with more. It is a Tuesday edition of Running Point coming up in about a half an hour. We will speak with the skipper of the YSU baseball program. Yeah, Penguins got some work to do. They dropped 3 out of 4 to UIC out in Chicago. That was a tough weekend all the way around. Penguins, though, get back home. They take on the Mastodons this weekend. They'll travel to Louisville for a weekend series down there, and then they're back home the final weekend of the regular season, playing Milwaukee in what could be perhaps a playoff preview, or perhaps Milwaukee is playing for their playoff lives and YSU's playing for a second seed. Who knows? But the final 12 games of the season, we're embarking on the final 12 games of the regular season. We'll catch up with Dan Bertolini coming up at the top of the hour. It's a Tuesday edition of Running Point presented by Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown. Back in a bit.
Hi everyone, this is DJ Yoakley with Your Sports Network. We appreciate your support of YSN and welcome you to the YSN family. Our broadcast streams are brought to you live at no cost to you by sponsors that are local to this community. Without the vision and generosity of our sponsors and partners, we would not be able to bring this game to you today. So please support the great businesses and leaders that are making this game possible. And if you're a business in need of great advertising and sponsorship opportunities, feel free to head over to our site for more information on the right fit for you. We are local, we are loyal, and we are live. We are YSN.
News doesn't stop after the sun goes down. Sometimes you just have to hustle to get it. At 21 News, no matter how far it is, no matter what it takes to get there, we're working to bring you the best stories and the freshest content at 11 p.m. with the context and clarity that makes it worth staying up for, no matter what time it is. 21 News at 11 with me, Aaron Simonek, and Derek Steyer.
21 News at 11, news that's worth your time.
WRS Wealth Advisors is the area's premier wealth and retirement specialist. With our combined 70 years experience and comprehensive wealth strategy, we assist our clients attain their goals. Call 330-965-0370 to learn more about our individual and corporate financial planning services, or visit wrswealthadvisors.com. Good luck, athletes.
At Greenwood Chevrolet, we go the extra mile for you
by finding you the right vehicle at the right price,
and by being with you for every mile of your journey.
Now, we're going the extra mile for you with an additional $1,500 on your trade, only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
Ah, the details. Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods is one fine ride. Perfect cornering, superb handling, sporty and stylish, power to spare, plus awesome mileage. Yeah, jaw-droppingly beautiful lines and well appointed with luxurious trim. Put more oomph in your life and start beholding the molding. Find your home's fine hardwood at BairdBrothers.com.
Planning a project around your home or rental property? Trust the electrical service to the local experts with 62 years of serving the Mahoning Valley. Joe Dickey Electric is your local go-to source for responsive, reliable residential electrical work. From everyday maintenance and repairs to new installations, electrical upgrades, and safety inspections, no job is too big or too small. Call Joe Dickey Electric today, 800-549-3976, or visit DickeyElectric.com. That's DickeyElectric.com.
For heating, cooling, and indoor air quality, the Mahoning Valley trusts MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning, offering worry-free repair, service, and installation. Call MP Vivo today for a free estimate.
MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning. We're your energy-efficient experts.
If you're looking for a new Ford vehicle, why shop anywhere else but Tri-State Ford? Choose from our great selection of new Ford models. Plus, we've got you covered with our exclusive Tri-State Ford Advantage. It includes a 10-year, 200,000-mile warranty with your new Ford. Come see why so many customers from the Tri-State area buy their new Ford at Tri-State Ford.
Customer focus, community driven. Tri-State Ford East Liverpool or visit tristateford.net.
Welcome back to a Tuesday edition of Running Point. Ron Potesta with you on this kind of soggy, kind of cloudy, kind of blah weather-wise Tuesday edition of Running Point. Hopefully the weather cooperates so we can have some baseball and or softball on the diamonds today. Here's your pending schedule And again, we say pending schedule because who knows if Mother Nature is going to allow us to have any games today. Pending schedule as of right now will be in Western PA. Mohawk High School is hosting Lincoln. That is a 4:15 start for Mohawk High School just outside of Newcastle. That's a 4:15 start. That'll be a baseball game played at Mohawk High School. 5 o'clock today at Fitch High School. Austintown Fitch will be hosting Youngstown East. Brook, West Virginia will travel across the border into Ohio to take on Edison. That is a 5 o'clock start. That is in baseball as well. 2 softball games scheduled to start at 5 o'clock today. Girard is at South Range. Beaver Local will visit Ursuline. Those are the games that are on the network for today, and more importantly, weather permitting. Weather permitting, those are the games that we will be airing today on the network. As far as the high school softball, we made mention of this yesterday. Anthony and I went through the tournaments, divisions 1 through 4. The Austintown District Tournament will have the top seed, Fitch Falcons. They will be playing the winner of the Akron-Kenmore-Garfield Canton-Glen Oak game that's going to be played at Canton-Glen Oak on Monday, May the 10th. That game's going to start at 5 o'clock. The other sectional first-round games, Harding is at Howland, and Lyndhurst Brush will visit Menor. In the bracket finals, the sectional finals, 2 days later, Wednesday, May the 12th, as we mentioned, the Kenmore-Garfield-Glen Oak winner will visit Fitch at 5 o'clock. Twinsburg is at Chardon. The Harding-Howland winner will travel to the number 5 seed, North Canton Hoover, and the Brush Mentor winner will be traveling to the number 10 seed, Boardman, in the other bracket final. The district tournaments will begin on May the 17th. That would be the the Kenmore-Garfield-Glen Oak Fitch winner would take on the winner of Twinsburg and Chardon on Monday, May the 17th at 4 o'clock. The Harding-Howland winner taking on Hoover. The winner of that game would take on the winner of the Brush Mentor winner taking on Boardman. Whoever wins those 2 games would be playing each other for a district semifinal at Austintown on Monday, May the 17th at 5:30. The district championship would be played on Wednesday, May the 19th at Fitch High School. And, of course, Austintown Fitch, first year with the brand-new turf facility, not just around the infield, but on the outfield as well. So that would be your Austintown District Tournament. And, again, 33 teams in the Super Size Me District Tournament. Austintown Fitch getting the top seed of all the teams in the Super Size Me District. They would be, right now, the overwhelming favorite to be the district champion, considering the 2 seed, 3 seed, and 4 seed are all going to be away from Austintown. Walsh Jesuit, Painesville Riverside, Massillon Perry. The 2, 3, and 4 seeds had wanted no part of Austintown. North Canton Hoover decided to stay in the Austintown district. The 6 seed Green, 7 seed New Philadelphia, 8 seed Chardon, 9 seed East Lake North, they're not in the Austintown district. So the top 3 seeds in this district, number 1 Fitch, number 5 North Canton Hoover, and number 10 Boardman. So one would think Austintown Fitch is the overwhelming favorite to win a district championship in their own district. Division 2, we have a Hubbard district, and the other district would be in Louisville. Marlington is the top seed in the Super Size Me 26-team district tournament. However, Marlington will be in the Hubbard district. Your games to be played on Tuesday, May the 11th All of these games will start at 5 o'clock. Lakeview is at Geneva. Struthers is at Alliance. Cheney is at Girard. Salem is at Streetsboro. And Southeast will visit Painesville Harvey. The sectional bracket finals 2 days later on Thursday, May the 13th. The winner of Lakeview and Geneva will play top seed Marlington in Marlington. The Struthers Alliance winner will take on the winner of Cheney and Girard, and that game will be played at the better seeded team site. That game will start at 5 o'clock. The Salem Streetsboro winner will have a date with the number 2 seed Canfield Cardinals at 5 o'clock, and the Southeast Harvey winner will be at number 7 Hubbard, and that game will be at 5 o'clock. Interestingly enough, in the Hubbard district, the 2 seed Canfield Cardinals decided to jump right in to the top seed Marlington's district. So the Jefferson district is now filled with the 3, the 4, the 5, and the 6. Aurora is in the Jefferson district. So is number 4 Poland, as is number 5 West Branch, and number 6 Mogador Field. I believe they are making the journey to Jefferson as well. The top 3 seeds in the Hubbard district: number 1 Marlington, number 2 Canfield, and number 7 Hubbard. Interesting. We'll go to the Jefferson district. These are the games that are going to start the sectional first round, opening round of the tournament to begin on Tuesday, May the 11th. Kenston is at Ashtabula Edgewood. West Geauga will visit Perry. Ravenna is at West Branch. East is at Jefferson, and Niles will take on Chardon. Notre Dame Cathedral Latin up in Chardon. In the sectional bracket finals on Thursday, May the 13th, the Kenston Edgewood winner will visit the 3 seed Aurora. The West Geauga Perry winner will take on the winner of Ravenna and West Branch. Perry is the 8 seed. West Branch is the 5 seed. So if West Branch wins, the game would be played at West Branch. If West Branch were to beat Ravenna, and while Ravenna is the 26th seed, one would assume in a 26-team field, West Branch should be able to win that game. I'm just saying. The winner of East and Jefferson will visit Poland. Poland is the 4 seed. The winner of Niles and Notre Dame Cathedral Latin will be traveling to Mogador to play Mogador Field, which is the 6 seed. Division 3, we have the LeBray District, we have the South Range District. Now, the South Range District games are not going to be played at South Range High School. We were told these games are going to be played at Farmers National Bank Field, or at least the district tournaments are going to be played at Farmers National Bank Field, and they can be because the weekend prior to the start of the district semifinals will be the Horizon League softball tournament. So that tournament should be done by Sunday, May the 16th. The district semifinals in Division 3 are to be played on Tuesday, May the 18th, and Wednesday, May the 19th, hence the reason why Farmers National Bank Field will be a South Range District semifinals, and district championship. So even though it says South Range District, the games are going to be played at Farmers National Bank Field on the campus of Youngstown State University, a little bit bigger of a facility, which may or may not help out the offensive-minded teams. Be that as it may, in Division 3, 23 teams encompass the Super Size Me district. Ursuline drew the top seed. South Range is the 2. Champion is the 3. Columbiana is the 4. Crestview is the 5. Here are your LeBray District participants. In the first round of the tournament on Tuesday, May the 11th, that's 1 week from today, Conneaut is at Springfield. Kirtland is at LeBray. East Palestine will travel to Garrettsville. Garfield and Liberty will take on Cardinal Mooney. All of those games will be played at 5 o'clock. The sectional bracket finals on Thursday, May the 13th. The Conneaut Springfield winner will be taking on number 2 South Range. The Kirtland-LaBray winner will be taking on Waterloo. Now, Kirtland is currently seeded number 18 in this tournament. LaBray is seeded number 12 in this tournament, and Waterloo is seeded number 13 in this tournament. So if LaBray beats Kirtland, LaBray will have a home game on Thursday, May the 13th against Waterloo. If Kirtland beats LaBray, then Kirtland will travel to Waterloo. East Palestine and Garrettsville Garfield have the unenviable task, whoever wins that game, to take on Champion, who is seeded number 3. And the Liberty Cardinal Mooney winner will be traveling to the Cleveland suburbs as they take on number 6 Gilmore Academy. Over in LaBray, in the South Range District, that would be the South Range District where the districts are going to be played at Farmers National Bank Field. Camel will be at number 1 Ursuline in the sectional first round 1 week from today, May the 11th at 5 o'clock. United is at Rootstown, and Crestwood will be taking on Newton Falls. Should Ursuline knock off Camel, and, well, it's probably going to happen, who knows, the Ursuline Camel winner will be taking on Grand Valley. Grand Valley is the 20 seed. Ursuline is the top seed in this tournament. One would figure Ursuline will be playing a second home game against Grand Valley. Burton Berkshire will be at Pie Valley. The United Rootstown winner will take on the 4 seed Columbiana Clippers. And the Crestwood Newton Falls winner will be taking on the number 5 seed Crestview Rebels. Now, here's the good stuff. And we made mention of this yesterday. And again, it's not personal for me, but it's something where, as a resident of Columbiana County, as someone who grew up in Columbiana County, and as someone who has seen firsthand the Columbiana-Crestview rivalry, it needs to be brought back. And while people are not doing this in the regular season, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're not going to get a tournament matchup. Because if everything falls into place, on Tuesday, May the 18th, if it's chalk, Columbiana gets to play Crestview in a district semifinal game at Farmers National Bank Field. And I'm no offense to any of the schools. I want this to happen mainly because it is past time. It's not time. It is past time for both schools to drop the swords, drop the axes, and drop everything and go to the table and say, look, can we please get these two teams back on the football field, back on the baseball diamond, back on the softball diamond, back on the volleyball court, back on the basketball court, and all the other sports? It's time. It really, truly is time. So Columbiana Crestview, get it done, please, because all you're doing right now is cheating both communities. You're cheating both communities. Columbiana and Crestview should be on the schedule every friggin' year. And hopefully these two teams will play each other in a district semifinal, and maybe, just maybe, the very thick ice is going to melt and we can get back to being, these two teams on playing yearly in every sport, which is long overdue. All right, Division 4. It's an editorial comment because, well, after all, hang on a second. We got to play this.
The opinions and views expressed in the following program are those of the speakers and the host and do not necessarily reflect those of Yoakley Scott Corporation and your sports network.
Yeah, there you go. So, just an editorial comment from yours truly. All right, Division 4. You got Candlelight Knolls District, gorgeous, gorgeous facility up in Warren. And then you have the Jackson Milton District in its own right. Jackson Milton has a gorgeous field as well. Matthews is the top seed in this 24-team Super Size Me district. McDonald is the 2. East Canton, boy, are they good. The Wizards are the 3 seed. Number 4, Brookfield. Number 5, Lisbon. Bristol is 6. Lordstown is 7. Badgers 8. Jackson Milton 9. Western Reserve is 10. My alma mater is 12. Mineral Ridge number 11. All right, let's get to the tournaments. First round tournament at the Candlelight Knolls District. Southern will be at Fairport Harbor. So Southern Local in Southern Columbiana County is going to be making a trip up into Ashtabula County. Pack a lunch. You're going to be on that bus for a while to take on Fairport Harbor. That is a 5 o'clock game. Bloomfield in the northern part of Trumbull County will be making a trip down to the northern part of Columbiana County to take on Leetonia. Pack a lunch. It's going to take a little while. Ashtabula St. John will be at Brookfield, and Chalker will travel due west to Windham. All of those games will begin at 5 o'clock. In the sectional bracket finals on Wednesday, May the 12th, the winner of Southern and the winner of Southern and Fairport Harbor will be taking on the top seed in this tournament, the Matthews Mustangs. The winner of the Bloomfield-Leetonia game will travel to Badger to take on the 8 seed Badger team. The winner of St. John and Brookfield will be taking on Lordstown. Now, if Brookfield happens to win this game, they're the 4 seed. They are higher than the 7 seed Lordstown team. If the game would be at Brookfield. If Ashtabula St. John happens to win this game, Ashtabula St. John is the 19 seed. Well, Lordstown would have a home game. And the Chalker-Windham winner will make a trip south to the mid-range portion of Columbiana County as they take on the Lisbon Blue Devils. Those games will be on Wednesday, May the 12th. All of those games at 5 o'clock. And then the district tournaments will take place at Candlelight Knolls up in Warren. District semifinals on Monday, May the 17th. District championship on Wednesday, May the 19th. The Jackson Milton District, here is your sectional first round tournament. Warren JFK will be at Lowellville. Wellsville will be at Sebring. Middlefield Cardinal visits Mineral Ridge, and Maplewood will travel to Western Reserve. All of those games will start at 5 o'clock. On Wednesday, May the 12th, the winner of the Warren JFK Lowellville game will visit the number 2 seed McDonald Blue Devils. That game starts at 5. As a matter of fact, all of the sectional championship games will start at 5 o'clock. The Wellsville Sebring winner will visit Bristol. Bristol is the 6th seed in this Super Size Me tournament. Cardinal and Mineral Ridge winner will visit number 3 East Canton, and the Maplewood Western Reserve winner gets Jackson Milton. Jackson Milton is the number 9 seed in this tournament. And oh, by the way, if it's Western Reserve is the 10 seed in this tournament. So that would be an outstanding sectional bracket championship game. And then, of course, the Jackson Milton District semifinals will be played at Jackson Milton. As luck would have it for Jackson Milton, should they, they are going to play in a sectional final because they drew a bye. So there is the possibility that the number 9 seed, Jackson Milton Blue Jays, could be playing 3 consecutive home games, a sectional bracket final, and the district semis and district championship game. Being that Jackson Milton is hosting the districts, Jackson Milton, who decided to stay home, literally stay home in their tournament, Jackson Milton could be playing a home game from the sectional finals all the way to the district championship. Home field advantage, and that's not a bad thing if you're a member of the Jackson Milton Blue Jays. The district championship winner will be playing the regionals at Akron Firestone Stadium. Now, we brought this up yesterday. Division II and Division IV, the regional semifinals and regional championship game will be played at Akron Firestone. consider this. Akron Firestone is going to be hosting the state semifinals and the state championship game. So whoever gets into the regionals in Division II and Division IV have a very real possibility of playing 4 consecutive games in the hallowed grounds, that is Akron Firestone Stadium, because the iconic stadium is going to be hosting the state semis and the state championship game. So those that are in the Northeastern Ohio Regional in Division II and Division IV, boy, are you going to have a really nice home field advantage having played in the regional tournaments. You know, the winner of the region will have already played 2 games at Akron Firestone Stadium. They're going to have a leg up on all the other regional winners, the 3 other regional champs. Chances are they will have not played a game at Akron Firestone Stadium this year, while the regional champ in Division 4 and Division 2, whose regional tournaments are being played at Akron Firestone, they'll already have played 2 games at this iconic place, which, in my mind, is going to be a very nice home field advantage for whoever gets out of that region in Division 2 and Division 4. And considering the fact that, well, Division 2, Canfield is the 2 seed, Matthews is the top seed in Division 4, McDonald is the 2 seed. It's a pretty good chance one of our local YSN family teams could be going to the state semifinals with a pretty nice home field advantage, considering the fact they've played 2 games already in this iconic ballpark. So we will talk about that as the tournament talk continues through the days and weeks ahead. All right, we're going to take a time out. On the other side, we will hear from the skipper, the manager of the YSU baseball team. They struggled against UIC. Let's be honest. UIC beat them 3 out of 4. Probably should have been a split to the series. At the absolute minimum, it should have been a split. I think YSU could have won this series. Unfortunately, they did not. But the good news is the final 8 conference games are going to be played at home, where the Penguins have been dynamite at Eastwood Field against the Horizon League. We will catch up with the head coach, the manager, the skipper of the YSU baseball program, Dan Bertolini. He is coming up next on this Tuesday edition of Running Points, presented by Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown.
New things happen all day. Some are good, some not so good. In today's complicated world, while you're busy working, playing, and living life, we're busy helping you make sense of the day's news. And there's only one place where it comes together with clarity, context, and accountability. It's 21 News at 6 with me, Madison Tromler, and Derek Steyer.
21 News at 6. It's what the day's news really means to you.
Welcome home to a home made homier with Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods. Inspiration starts at BairdBrothers.com and is turned into reality when high-quality hardwoods are delivered right to your home. Baird Brothers has the latest design trends: shiplap and skinny lap interior siding, antique oak rustic flooring, and, well, you'll find them all at BairdBrothers.com. Ordered easily, delivered conveniently, enjoyed comfortably. BairdBrothers.com.
WRS Wealth Advisors, the area's premier wealth and retirement specialists. Located on South Avenue in Boardman.
Hi, this is Jim Myers with Myers Family Insurance, your local Medicare and retirement resource. We're excited to have sports back. Whether you're on the field or cheering from the stands, sports unifies communities and brings hope for the future. We're all one team working together. At Myers Family Insurance, we know the importance of a great team.
Our team continues to grow to help you with your Medicare and retirement needs.
The annual election period is October 15th through December 7th. Now's the time to make sure your plan continues to meet your needs for the upcoming year.
Call today.
Hi, I'm Colin Chupa.
And I'm Kelsey Clem from K-Squared Marketing.
Our boutique marketing firm specializes in media planning and buying, public relations, event marketing strategies, and strategic sponsorships. We can integrate our services with your existing game plan, or we can be your entire marketing team. Your goals, our game plan. Let's win together. Call K-Squared Marketing at 330-623-2730 or visit ksquared.marketing to learn more.
Your first and last stop with your tax return should be with me, Tracy Bryden at Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. No other dealer goes the extra mile to bring you the largest selection of vehicles at one convenient location. With guaranteed credit approval, I will find you the right vehicle and the right financing options for you. I am ready to go the extra mile to show you why no other dealer sells more cars, finances more, and gets you more for your refund than Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown.
At Greenwood Chevrolet, we go the extra mile for you.
By finding you the right vehicle at the right price.
By giving you confidence in your vehicle with a Greenwood Advantage warranty.
By guaranteeing you financing,
regardless of your situation or credit history.
And by being with you for every mile of your journey.
Now, we're going the extra mile for you with an additional $1,500 on your trade, plus the best selection of new and used vehicles in the area.
Visit greenwoodchevrolet.com and tell us how we can go the extra mile for you.
Quality, customer service, and integrity. Those are the 4 words that have driven our success since 1957 at Joe Dickey Electric.
Joe Dickey Electric is one Mahoning Valley landmark business that stays current with the requirements of our customers. Family owned and managed, we are an electrical contractor and energy solutions provider. Every member of our team adds to his or her skill set through ongoing training. Residential, commercial, industrial, automotive, and more. We keep ahead of the needs of our customers with a fleet of more than 50 vehicles and 24/7 emergency service, so you're never left in the dark.
Jimmy Sudman here, Director of Isle, Purple Cat, and Golden String. We are happy to support YSN and 2 of my favorite people, Scotty Mincher and Super Dave O'Malley. We are an agency that provides services for adults with disabilities. We infuse humor, passion, and joy into their lives. If you know of any folks with disabilities that need our assistance, please contact us.
Your teams work hard and give it all they've got. Well, so does ours, because 21 Sports and YSN give you extra effort when covering local sports. 21 Sports and YSN, winning coverage of our Valley's teams.
When looking for home design inspiration, don't just be inspired, be Baird inspired. Whether new or remodeling, Baird Brothers has the latest trends like shiplap to refresh your home. Go from inspiration to installation with our wide selection of in-stock American hardwoods. From the rustic charm of antique oak to the warmth of traditional cherry, Baird Brothers has what you need to make your home inspiring. Baird Brothers, our family's heritage, your family's home.
Welcome back to a Tuesday edition of Running Point, presented by Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown. And joining me, as he does every Tuesday at this time on the MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline, the manager of the YSU baseball program, Dan Bertolini. Skip, how are you today, sir?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing good, and I got to imagine it's great to be back home in the Valley, knowing that your team performs incredibly well at Eastwood Field. You're going to be taking on a Purdue Fort Wayne team this weekend that has been struggling all year long, and a golden opportunity to finally sew up one of those 4 playoff spots and get hot before the playoffs begin.
Yeah, absolutely. We love being home, and looking forward to taking on IPFW this weekend.
All right, over the weekend, you guys went up against UIC. I thought it was the Friday game was incredible. Both starting pitchers had their A game working. As it turns out, the Penguins get a 1-0 victory. Probably the best game of the series in terms of pitching and excitement. Although the first game of the doubleheader on Saturday was pretty good as well. Unfortunately, the Penguins were on the losing end of it. But I thought that the game on Friday was just absolutely remarkable in terms of pitching.
Yeah, it was fantastic, and Colin Clark gave us the start that we've been looking for. he struggled a little bit at times throughout the year, and just really happy for him. He's worked so hard, and a lot of high expectations coming into the season, and he pitched like the Friday guy, 8 innings, 4 hits, 8 Ks. I think he walked 1. So it was really just 2 really good pitchers going after each other. Jacob Key's one of the better guys in the league. I thought it was tough too. The zone was very favorable for him. He was getting a low strike, and he's really, really tough to beat. He's kind of a sinker slider guy, works the ball down. And just a really well-played game. Both teams played well, made some great defensive plays, and pitched really well. So that was a good start to the weekend.
Skip, is this going to be one of those situations where Colin Clark can now build on this start, and we can see the Colin Clark that we've been accustomed to the last couple of years? Because if that's the case, I love Youngstown State's chances in the Horizon League tournament, because then you can throw both Collins and essentially get yourself a NCAA berth. Yeah.
I mean, I'm hoping he can use this as some momentum. Going into this weekend, he threw well against IPFW the last time we faced them, and hopefully he'll be able to carry that momentum into the rest of the season, into the postseason. Because I think when he's pitching well, we have a really good pitching staff with him and Colin Floyd and John Snyder. Those 3 guys have thrown the ball exceptionally well all year. So if we can continue to get good starts, we'll be in good shape come the tournament time.
And we look at Colin Floyd being an automatic, and the first game of the doubleheader on Saturday, he pitched well, but I think it was a reminder that he's not an automatic, and there are going to be some times where he's going to get an L, and hopefully this is the last time that Colin Floyd gets an L between now and the rest of the regular season and into the tournaments. But it was just a reminder that even though he pitches well, it's not a sure thing.
Yeah, I mean, we had, if his worst game is giving up 3 runs, he's doing something pretty good. We got to find a way to score a little bit more runs for him when he's throwing. But he tweaked his back a little bit during the week and was a little bit tight, especially early in the game. They got a couple hits early, and then he settled in pretty nicely the rest of the way. I think they scored 1 on a weird wild pitch, pass ball type situation, and then got 1 late on him. But we had some opportunities. We just didn't capitalize. I thought over the course of the game we hit the ball much better than they did. We had some really good contact and really, they made some good plays. We had some loud outs and just didn't get the ball to fall our way. But really all weekend, besides the Sunday game, every game was a well-played, tight, close game. It's just like we thought it would be.
And it's just, it's the weirdness of baseball. You'll have frozen ropes, guys hitting the ball on their screws with nothing to show for it. And then you'll see a person get a duck snort or a 55 hopper right up the box and up the middle and into center field. It is a weird game. And, the caveat is it's supposed to pay you back toward the end of the year. Well, if that's the case, hopefully this coming weekend we'll get some of that payback, because I thought the Penguins could have easily won 3 of 4 in this series. You had a 7-1 lead in the nightcap of the second game, and then all hell broke loose in UIC, and you give them credit. They scored the final 7 runs, and they walk off the Penguins 8-7, and then Sunday was sideways.
Yeah, it was just it was kind of the Sunday game was a weird game. John Snyder gave us a great start, threw the ball exceptionally well. They hadn't really done much all weekend in terms of offense. I think at that point they had scored 4 runs going into the 8th inning of that game all weekend. And you get a couple weird plays. You get
Skip, are you there? Yeah.
Are you there?
Okay, now I got you. All right, continue, sir.
Yeah, it was a couple. The wind was blowing out pretty hard, and we just couldn't get. They had a couple balls. Chad Coles has been one of our best guys. He comes in, gives up 3 home runs. I mean, sometimes it's baseball when that momentum shifts. They got a couple swings, and we just weren't able to stop the bleeding, and they came back and won. So I told our guys after the game, we've had games where we've come back late and won, and momentum is tough to deal with. So sometimes, it's hard to stop, and they did a good job. I told Mike and Sean at UIC, I told them, their guys did a good job of battling and not giving up. And, we just, one of those games that kind of got away from us.
Well, and obviously, the Penguins are right now in third place. You're 3 out in the loss column to second place UIC. UIC is going to finish up their conference schedule. They're going to be playing Northern Kentucky after Purdue Fort Wayne. So they're not playing any games this week in terms of conference games. They're going to be in Lubbock taking on Texas Tech in a 4-game series. So the Penguins will be playing Purdue Fort Wayne. Purdue Fort Wayne will be will be back home the following week against UIC. And then UIC is going to be taking on Northern Kentucky. And who knows, by then Northern Kentucky or Milwaukee could be eliminated depending on what happens with those two teams. So, there's a chance the Penguins could get second place. But even if they don't, there's probably a better than average chance we're seeing UIC at Wright State when the Horizon League Conference tournament begins. And I guess the big question is, Skip, what is the difference between the ballpark at Wright State and Curtis Granderson Stadium in Chicago? Does the ballpark play any better or any different in Dayton?
Yeah, I think Wright State's locked it up. I don't think anyone can catch them at this point. I think they already clinched the number 1 seed. So it'll be at Wright State, but the field at Wright State's a lot faster. The infield's much faster. UIC plays exceptionally slow in the infield, so ground balls are most of the ground balls you get there are outs, where it's going to be a little bit faster at Wright State. The wind plays a factor both places. It just depends on how the wind's blowing. If it's usually you get a crosswind from right to left at Wright State, where the ball kind of carries out to left. Left-handers, if you hit a backside fly ball, a lot of times you can get some extra carry there. But Wright State's a big place. It's a big triples ballpark. If you get balls by the outfielders, you can run. So it's definitely much different. Wright State is more of a hitter's ballpark, and I'd say UIC normally the wind blows in and it's got a slow infield, so you get some low-scoring games there.
Dan Bertolini, the manager of the YSU Penguins, joining me on the MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline. You're going to be taking on a team in Purdue Fort Wayne that's on an 11-game losing streak. They're 6-18 in the league, 9-25 overall. And nobody's given up, but obviously this team is well out of contention for any hope of getting into the postseason. So essentially playing out the string. It's a dangerous team to play when they don't have anything to play for. However, if they decide to cash their chips in, well, this could be an easy weekend for the Penguins.
Well, there's no easy weekends in the Horizon League, I'll tell you that. And they played us really tough. They beat us early in the season. They beat us 1-0. They got a left-handed pitcher, Miller. He got hit up a little bit last weekend, but I think he was, somewhere in the 3.5 ERA. He does a good job. He moves the ball around. They don't have really much. They don't have anyone that's going to be overpowering on the mound, but they got some guys that can spin it a little bit and keep you off balance. You got to stay disciplined in the strike zone. So Doug does a great job there. I know that things haven't gone the way that they've wanted to throughout the year, but they have some talented guys. They're a really aggressive team. They're gonna take a lot of first pitch swings. They're gonna, if you leave balls in the middle of the plate, they can do some damage with them. So you have to be on your A game, and every game's a playoff game here on out, trying to make the Horizon League tournament and get our seeding. I mean, I don't think there's much of a difference between the number 2 and 3 seed, other than you get a home, you're home technically in the first game instead of away. But other than that, there's not a whole lot of difference. So, we're just trying to, no one's catching Wright State, so you just got to try to work your way in there, and once you get in there, you got an opportunity anyone can win at that point.
Penguins are 13-2 at Eastwood Field, 10-2 in league play. Obviously, Eastwood Field has been exceptionally good to the home team, and obviously the Penguins are going to need to have that mojo. You still have some unfinished business, 4 against Purdue Fort Wayne. After a trip to Louisville, you'll finish out the regular season with a 4-gamer against Milwaukee, and 12 games left in the regular season. It's an opportunity for the Penguins to get hot again and use all that momentum into the postseason where anything can happen.
Yeah, I thought we played the toughest schedule early. Having to play Wright State two weekends in a row, UIC and Milwaukee. So it was a tough sledding early, and a lot of those games are on the road. And now you get an opportunity to play some home games to finish up the season. And hopefully we just continue to play good baseball at home like we have this year, and then go to Bellarmine and play a good series against them, and finish here with Milwaukee, and stay healthy and hopefully get ready for the tournament.
And I think that the season record against the top 2 teams right now in the Horizon League, the fact that you went 3-5 against Wright State and 4-4 against UIC, as far as I'm concerned, I think the Penguins are a very real threat to not only create some noise in the upcoming Horizon League tournament, should the Penguins finish what they started, but I think you guys are a serious threat to win this thing, because if it comes down to pitching and Colin Floyd is pitching like we saw in the first game of the series against UIC, boy, oh boy, you'll have 2 aces and a rested pitching staff. Life could be good for Youngstown State in a few weeks.
Yeah, we got to get there first. We got to take care of business these next couple of weeks. But we felt all year that we've been they're one of the top teams, if not the top team in the league. We had a couple, there's some close games that didn't go our way, some leads that we kind of gave up at times, or we'd probably be right there in second place. And, but really, any of the teams that make it are all very capable of winning games. You've seen, it's postseason baseball, so you just got to play. You got to play well one weekend, and we're as of right now, we're the only team that's beaten Wright State in the Horizon League. So we have the confidence there. With we've beaten every team in the league, and we feel good about our chances if we get there.
All right, 4-game series against the Mastodons from Purdue Fort Wayne. Game 1 will be played on May the 7th. That's this Friday at 3 o'clock at Eastwood Field. Doubleheader on Saturday, May the 8th. First game is at 1 o'clock. Second game is at 4. And then a single game on Friday, May the 9th, against Purdue Fort Wayne. We've made mention Purdue Fort Wayne on a very lengthy losing streak, but we've talked a little bit about the program. They're not gonna go quietly, for sure. They'll give the Penguins a bit of a tussle, and obviously you guys have some business, some serious business to take care of this weekend and the following weekend against Milwaukee. The pitching lineup for this weekend, Skip.
It will stay the same. We'll go Colin Clark on Friday, Colin Floyd Saturday, John Snyder to follow, and finish with Nick Perez in the Sunday game. And yeah, I mean, in this kind of environment, when you're not playing midweek games, it's like a new season every weekend. So you got to continue to prepare, have a good week of practice. There's some things we need to clean up and continue to get better at. And then, hopefully, I feel, we always feel great with our pitching staff that they're going to give us an opportunity to win. And we just got to find ways to win this weekend. I know, it was a rough weekend for them last weekend. Purdue Fort Wayne got beat up pretty good against Wright State. But, like I said, every week's a new week in the Horizon League, and you got to play good baseball. And that's really the whole goal of this thing is to be playing your best baseball going into the end of May and into June.
How strange has it been this year without the midweek games to get you guys ready for the weekend games in conference play?
It's tough, and you saw a little bit last weekend in the Sunday game. when Nick Perez was getting hit up a little bit early, so we got him out and went to Joel, and then when at that point you get to some guys that haven't pitched a whole lot, throughout the course of the year. There's some guys that got in that game that hadn't pitched in 3 weeks, in a actual baseball game other than inter-squad scrimmages. So it is tough because when your starting pitching is really good and you don't use your bullpen that much, a lot of times your bullpen guys don't get as much work as they normally would. And during the midweeks, those are good opportunities for guys to go an inning or two here, an inning or two there. So, that's definitely – and it's tough in the league. I mean, you look across the league on Sundays, the scores are always usually pretty high because it's tough to play 4 games in a weekend. It just is. There's not a lot of conferences across the country that have 4, quality starters, as well as, if one of those guys has a bad day and you got to go to the bullpen early, it's tough to put taxes your bullpen and taxes your pitching staff. So, we'll just continue to work. We try to get stimulated as best as we can in practice, but, hopefully throughout the rest of this season, we have some opportunity to get some guys in to just keep them fresh. So when we need them in the tournament, they're ready to go.
And you're bringing up the tournament. My goodness, in a double elimination 4-team tournament, and the games are all condensed, where you're going to play 2 games, possibly 2 games. If a team loses the first round on Thursday, I'm assuming they play the second game that day, where you may not. One team may be out of there with just one day, 2 straight losses, you're out of the tournament. But the tournament itself, boy, you talk about an opportunity to use everybody. There's going to be some arms that are going to be used. If not, all of the arms in your arsenal will be used, assuming the Penguins get into the tournament.
Yeah, it just depends on how it goes too. Best case scenario is you win your first round game and your second round game, and now you're in the championship, and that's a big advantage for whoever does that, because now you're only throwing your number 3, where the other team's throwing their number 4, and then the if game would be, the number 5 starter. So it's definitely important to win every game, and at that point, you just got to find a way. It could be anybody. It could be, if you get to that 5th game, you could be using anybody at that point to try to win a championship.
As we are getting set to rev up the final portion of the regular season, and we're talking with the manager of the YSU baseball program, Dan Bertolini, who has come on in your mind, both offensively and on the mound, who has really made a significant jump from early in the campaign to right now, Skip?
Well, I would say Dom Bucco has really made the biggest jump. He is a slow starter. I think he was like 3 for his first 30. I mean, it was rough to start the year, and then he's probably been our best player over the course of the last really since Wright State. He's really kind of felt more comfortable, turned it on, and he's been electric. He had a couple home runs this weekend and really swung the bat well. Kind of gave us a big jump on the Friday game. On the Saturday, one of the Saturday games, hit a home run, and then hit another home run on Sunday. And he really completes that middle of the lineup when you have him in the 3-hole, and Blaze and Turner. Those guys have done a good job behind him. I thought Jeff Whalers played really exceptionally well over the course of the last couple weeks. He's a tough out. I think he's now leading the Horizon League in stolen bases. I think he's got 21. With him and Phil, they have 20 and 21 stolen bases. So, those guys have done a good job. Turner Groff, for being a COVID freshman, he's got 5 home runs now, hitting almost 300. He's had a really good season. And the glue of the whole thing, Phil Glasser, our shortstop, he's played Gold Glove shortstop, as well as being our headlight. Him and Jeff, really setting things off for us in the front part of our lineup. So, those guys have been really good on the mound. Obviously, Floyd's been fantastic all year. I think Connor Johnson has done a great job. Had some injuries early. Had COVID right before the season started, so it held him out a little bit. And then, has really come on strong. I think he's only allowed a couple hits, maybe one run in his relief appearances. So we're going to lean on him a lot moving forward. And Travis Perry, he had a little bit of a setback this week, but wasn't able to make the trip. But he's pitched the last 2 weekends. He threw the ball well for us, so it hurt us not having him last weekend. And hopefully, he'll be ready to go for us this weekend.
What are the chances of Travis seeing the hill this weekend, Skip?
I would say very good. He had a little bit of a stomach bug that held him out, really right before we left, and so he's better now. He feels good, and he's going to throw a bullpen today and should be ready to go for the weekend.
Hey, congrats to getting this far. Let's finish the job and sweep Purdue Fort Wayne. And hold home service and finish this season strong and hopefully get into the conference tournament and make some serious noise there as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully we'll have, hopefully things will be a little bit clearer by the end of this weekend. I know there's some good matchups in the horizon. I think Wright State and Milwaukee play each other, and hopefully we take care of business this weekend and the picture's a little clearer for next week.
Okay, I got to ask, because I know you're an insanely large Browns fan. What'd you think of the draft?
Oh, it doesn't get any better. I mean, this is like you pinch yourself every day. Like, is this really the Cleveland Browns? Making good draft choices and free agent pickups, and just feels good that I really think that front office and that coaching staff really have things going in the right direction. So excited to see the product on the field, but they'll be young in the secondary, but they should be really talented. So it should be fun. Should be a fun season.
Yeah, it should be, and it should be a great season for. And a great renewal of the rivalry between Cleveland and Pittsburgh that started out last year, and now we can have some fun with these two teams being basically the same, maybe Cleveland a little bit better.
Yeah, that'll be fun. I think and the Bills had a good draft as well.
They did.
They're doing some good things.
Yeah, they did. I'm cautiously optimistic, but we all have one thing in common. We're all chasing Kansas City.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, but I think both of those franchises got better from the end of the season last year till now. So should be interesting to see what happens.
No doubt. Hey, let's take care of some business this weekend, Skip.
All right, thanks, Rob.
You got it. Dan Bertolini, he is the manager, the head coach, if you will. I hate using that term. It's not a baseball term. It just isn't. Oh, he's the head coach. Really? I didn't realize baseball had a head coach. I know baseball has a manager. I didn't realize they had a head coach. Anyway, he's the manager of the YSU Penguins. And again, the magic number. Right now, the magic number is sitting at 7. Milwaukee currently has a half a game lead on Northern Kentucky, but both teams have 16 losses. Any combination of Youngstown State victories and the fifth place team's losses equaling 40 or 41, will give the Penguins a playoff berth in the conference tournament. Right now, if you add the YSU wins and the Northern Kentucky losses together, it's 34. Hence the reason why the magic number is currently at 7, and it could get significantly lower this weekend, assuming that YSU takes care of business, and they should, against the Mastodons. And I'll say they take 3 out of 4. Well, then you've got 3 chopped off. So that's 4. Northern Kentucky is traveling to Oakland this weekend to take on an Oakland team that is currently on a 4-game winning streak, 7 wins, 17 losses. Who knows? Who knows what happens there? So I'll put it to you this way. If the Penguins were to sweep the Mastodons and Oakland were to take 3 out of 4 from Northern Kentucky, the Penguins are in the playoffs. The Penguins would be in the Horizon League tournament. They would go to the tournament, and again, the magic number being 7. If the Penguins were to sweep the Mastodons, that's 4 wins. If Northern Kentucky were to lose 3 times to Oakland, 4 plus 3 is 7. Magic number is 7. YSU can celebrate a Horizon League tournament berth, and hopefully, fingers crossed, Youngstown State can make some serious noise in the Horizon League. And again, Colin Clark pitched his butt off in the first game of the series against UIC. If Colin Clark pitches like that from here on out, now we have 2 aces in Colin Clark and Colin Floyd, and I'll go to bat with either one of these guys if they pitch to their potential. That's why I really like Youngstown State's chances if they get to the tournament, because their pitching is deep. I think the pitching is more than enough. And the fact that they're the only team in this league that has beaten Wright State this year. Wright State is 21-3, and those 3 losses all came against YSU. So it's not, I don't think Youngstown State is going to be petrified by playing Wright State if they play each other in the tournament. I don't think the Penguins are going to be petrified at all. If anything, the Penguins are going to be like, we've beaten you guys before. You don't scare us anymore. I think that Wright State will have an intimidation factor to any other team in the tournament except for Youngstown State, because Youngstown State's the only team that has gone up to them and punched them in the face and said, how do you like me now? All right, we'll take a timeout, be back with more. It is a Tuesday edition of Running Point presented by Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown.
Hello, I'm Greg Burbik with G. Burbik Farms. For the last 100 years, my family has farmed in the Columbiana and Mahoning counties. I began raising cattle in 1996 with the goal of providing a better product for you and your family on the dinner table. Our grass-fed and grain-supplemented Black Angus beef are raised with no hormones, steroids, or antibiotics. We're known for our hometown-friendly service and incredible tasting customers across the tri-state area. Our products go from our farm to your family. Stop by our farm on New Buffalo Road or visit us on the web at gburbikfarms.com. Don't forget to like us on Facebook. G. Burbik Farms, it just tastes better.
This is Tommy Clem, owner of WRS Insurance Solutions.
WRS Insurance Solutions is a local independent agency that specializes in life, Medicare, long-term care, and disability products. Call us at 330-953-3722 or visit us at wrsinsurancesolutions.com to learn more.
Good luck to all the student athletes in the Valley.
If you're looking for a quality pre-owned vehicle, why shop anywhere else but Tri-State Ford? Choose from our great selection of pre-owned vehicles. Plus, we've got you covered with our exclusive Tri-State Ford Advantage. It includes a 10-year, 200,000-mile warranty with your pre-owned vehicle and much more. Come see why so many customers from the Tri-State area buy their pre-owned vehicle at Tri-State Ford.
Customer focus, community driven. Tri-State Ford East Liverpool or visit tristateford.net.
No matter what the weather, be prepared with a reliable, efficient Ruud gas furnace or air conditioner from MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning. Call your energy efficient expert, MP Vivo, today for a free estimate.
Here at MP Vivo, we rely on Ruud, and so should you.
It's storm season.
I think we're under the gun for some heavy storms over the next couple of hours.
And Storm Tracker 21 is ready.
This is probably the one we're keeping a closer eye on.
On air.
And locally, we're going to have a lot of eyes on our area.
Online.
All right, let's talk high-risk futurecast and the timing of this weather.
On social media and on our app.
Rain will come and go tomorrow. There'll be some dry intervals.
Stay ready with Storm Tracker 21.
The severe weather threat now through around sunset this evening.
Myers Family Insurance knows the importance of a great team.
Our team continues to grow to help you with your Medicare and retirement needs.
The annual election period is October 15th through December 7th. Now's the time to make sure your plan continues to meet your needs for the upcoming year.
Call today.
"60 years ago, Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods began with 3 siblings, a hand-set sawmill, and a few local orders. And while business has certainly changed over the years, what has not are our principles of hard work, craftsmanship, and commitment to quality. At Baird Brothers, we're proud to put our name on the products we create, from moldings and doors to flooring and lumber. Thank you for 60 great years. We look forward to 60 more. Baird Brothers, for the place you love."
At Hubbard Chevrolet, Hubbard can help you get the financing you need regardless of your situation. I'm Tony Page, and I've helped thousands of customers in Northeast Ohio and Western Pennsylvania buy a vehicle. Bad credit, no problem. I can get you approved for a low-interest loan and maybe even a low-payment lease on a new car at the #1 Chevy dealership in Trumbull County for 3 years in a row. Visit HubbardChevy.com to get pre-approved or come see me, Tony Page, to get a new vehicle today. Remember, folks, Hubbard can help.
Welcome back to a Tuesday edition of Running Point, as we are with you for another few minutes, 20 minutes or so, making way for Power Hour, which is coming up at the top of the hour. Major League Baseball this evening, the Indians will be taking on the Kansas City Royals. Sam Hentges makes his starting debut, if I'm not mistaken. I believe this is going to be Big Sam's starting debut for the Indians. He was called up recently to pitch out of the bullpen, and then the Indians sent back one of their starting pitchers, and Hentges is now the number 4 guy in the rotation. He'll come into this game with a record of 1-0, an earned run average of 476, and again, this will be Big Sam's starting debut in Major League Baseball. He will be opposed this evening by left-handed pitcher Mike Minor. Minor is 2-1 with a 526 earned run average. This game will be played at Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City. It is an 8-10 start. The Indians won a wild one yesterday, knocking off the Royals by the final score of 8-6. Meanwhile, out in San Diego, Pirates had a really good thing going. Tim Anderson had a no-hitter going into the 7th inning, and unfortunately, San Diego not only broke up the no-hitter, they scored a couple of runs, and they shut out the Pirates 2-0. Former Bucko Melanson getting his 10th save of the season. The Pirates will send Mitch Keller to the hill for the Bucks. He is 1-3 with an 820 earned run average. San Diego is still undecided as to who is going to pitch for the Padres. Good God, I almost said Chargers. Good Lord. Pirates 12-16 on the campaign. San Diego 17-13 on the campaign. It is a 10-10 start out in San Diego at Petco Park. Gorgeous ballpark, by the way. Petco Park in beautiful San Diego, California, where the easiest job in the world of television is to be a meteorologist in San Diego. And you just basically say, sunny, 72, 73. That's about it. Speaking of San Diego, their arch rival, the LA Dodgers, are in Wrigley. Cubbies are out to a 1-0 lead, still batting bottom of the first inning. Kershaw on the hill for the Dodgers. The Cubs have runners at first and second, one man out, bottom of the first. Cubbies, who are 12-16 on the campaign, they are currently leading the Dodgers 1-0. LA has some problems. Their fifth starter, Dustin May, is set to have Tommy John surgery. He wound up hurting himself on Sunday. He was pitching against Milwaukee, and he threw. Actually, this was the Saturday game. He threw a pitch, and he kind of winced a little bit. And the trainer came out, and he described the pain, and the trainer said, "Yeah, you're out of here." They took him off the mound, and then one day after this horrible incident, we find out the 23-year-old has to have Tommy John surgery, so he's out for the rest of the year and probably out for a small chunk of the 2022 campaign as well. So the Dodgers, who came into this season as the overwhelming favorite to win the National League, it's anything but now. They're going to have to find a fifth starter, and now with minor league baseball starting up tonight throughout all of minor league baseball, and now the minor leagues, we no longer have short season or rookie ball. Actually, we still have rookie ball. We no longer have short season ball. So when minor league baseball starts today, it's going to be low A, high A, double A, and triple A. You no longer have the Florida State League, the Carolina League, the Southern League. All of that is gone. You now have triple A Northeast, triple A West, low A Southeast, which was formerly the Florida State League. I don't understand why they're still not going with these names, but neither here nor there. Anyway, minor league baseball starts tonight. One would assume someone is going to be replacing young Dustin May. By the way, that name had surfaced on more than one occasion when the Dodgers were in serious talks with the Indians last year when it came to acquiring Francisco Lindor. Now, as everyone knows by now, Lindor was traded to the New York Mets. But Dustin May was certainly one of the guys that the Dodgers were more than willing to send to Cleveland in hopes of getting the superstar shortstop who, by the way, in case anyone saw the New York Mets, the New York Mets have a little bit of a problem right now. First and foremost, nobody's hitting. And that would include their franchise player who they just signed to a mega contract. Lindor is 0 for his last 21. And after yesterday's loss, the New York Mets fired their two hitting coaches. This is coming off the heels of the Mets scoring 5 runs in last night's loss to the St. Louis Cardinals, 6-5. By the way, all of those runs scored in the first 3 innings. Cardinals scored 1 in the first, 1 in the second, 4 in the third. Mets scored 2 in the second, 3 in the third. No runs scored the rest of the night. And Lindor's in an 0 for 21 skid. He is hitting well under the Mendoza line, $163. And the Mets said, yeah, we're going to get rid of our hitting coaches right now. So Chili Davis and the other Mets hitting coach fired after the loss to St. Louis. And you know how psychotic the New York fans are, whether it be Yankees or Mets. Impatient as all get out. The media doesn't help because they're, the media is just, boy, they can make life miserable for players. And then you have the fishbowl mentality with the bright lights. Lindor's getting booed by the fans. I mean, I'm not laughing at him. I'm just, there is an old saying that the older I get, the more that it just makes sense. And Joe Tate, the late great Cavs broadcaster, said this. And look, this is an apples and oranges type of an argument. And obviously, Lindor was going to go where the money was. And clearly the Indians were not going to be giving him $30 million a year because it would have put a hole in their payroll. But many years ago, I had a conversation with Joe Tate, and he had said this on a number of occasions to other people, but he had said, look, find a market or find a city that just loves what you're doing and stay there. So many people want to sit back and go from place to place and try to see see if the grass is greener on the other side of town or the other side of the neighborhood. And when reality hits, that maybe you shouldn't have left. Maybe you shouldn't have left this area that was really, really good to you. Now, again, this may not apply to a Francisco Lindor, mainly because, well, was going to get paid, whether it's New York or anywhere else. But there is truth to what the late great Joe Tate had to say, and Lindor had something special in Cleveland. I have never heard a Cleveland fan boo Francisco. Even when he started out slow last year, I never heard fans boo him. Now, I might be wrong on that, and maybe I'm doing revisionist history. I can't remember anybody booing Lindor at all, but he's getting booed in New York, and they're not treating him. The fans are not treating him well at all. And well, I mean, when you sign a $30 million a year deal, you're not supposed to be hitting $163. You're supposed to be hitting 300. You're supposed to be getting the home runs and the RBI and the all the other good stuff. You're supposed to be playing solid baseball, and when you're not, and you're a guy that's getting paid top shelf money but not delivering top shelf baseball, you're going to get booed, plain and simple. And that's exactly what the New York fans are doing to Lindor right now. Oh well, sucks to be him. All right, 330-886-0813, the MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline, open for business. While I was talking, Clayton Kershaw was giving up runs. Cubbies have scored 4, and they're still batting in the bottom of the first. Good night. They lead the Dodgers 4-0 at Wrigley. I guess the wind must be blowing out today. Who knows? All right, I came out of the studio to see it just pouring down rain in East Palestine. That doesn't necessarily mean it's pouring everywhere, but in East Palestine, it was coming down in a pretty good clip. So it would appear that baseball is going to be limited. Baseball and softball is going to be extremely limited if we have any games at all. And, unfortunately, this is probably the worst time for the weather to be this bad, especially if you're in the tail end of the softball season, because this is the last regular season, the last week, I should say, of the regular season. Next week we're going to be starting the tournaments, and the last thing that you want is to have all of your games essentially backed up to where you've got cancellations left and right, and who knows what happens. Now, tomorrow's forecast, at least in East Palestine, it's encouraging in the afternoon, but there's supposed to be showers in the morning on Wednesday, and, well, depending on how much rain has hit the area, those fields, none of them or very few of them have tarps. So, unfortunately, that's something that is going to be not good. Thursday's forecast is promising, but then we go back to Friday, showers early, and then maybe, just maybe, we're good on Friday. Saturday, intervals of clouds and sun, although, here we are Tuesday. What is that, 5 days away? 4 days out? I don't trust any forecast 4 days out, but, it's hopefully hopefully we are going to have some decent weather the rest of this week, especially for the kids playing softball, because like I said, this is the last week of the regular season for high school softball. Next week is going to be the last week of the regular season for baseball and the first week of tournament play for softball. So obviously next week you want to be able to have a really, really nice week and then good weeks from here on out, because the last thing you want is to have all these tournament games backed up and delayed. So hopefully Mother Nature gets it in gear here and we get some decent weather where we can play some baseball and softball. But it surely doesn't look like we're going to be doing any of that today, especially with what I saw in the about 20 minutes ago. Damn, was it coming down. It was coming down hard in East Palestine. All right, we'll take a final timeout, be back to wrap this show up. It is a Tuesday edition of Running Point presented by Greenwood Chevrolet on Mahoning Avenue in Austintown.
Hi everyone, this is DJ Yoakley with Your Sports Network. We appreciate your support of YSN and welcome you to the YSN family. Our broadcast streams are brought to you live at no cost to you by sponsors that are local to this community. Without the vision and generosity of our sponsors and partners, we would not be able to bring this game to you today. So please support the great businesses and leaders that are making this game possible. And if you're a business in need of great advertising and sponsorship opportunities, feel free to head over to our site for more information on the right fit for you. We are local, we are loyal, and we are live. We are YSN.
News doesn't stop after the sun goes down. Sometimes you just have to hustle to get it. At 21 News, no matter how far it is, no matter what it takes to get there, we're working to bring you the best stories and the freshest content at 11 p.m. with the context and clarity that makes it worth staying up for, no matter what time it is. 21 News at 11 with me, Aaron Simonek, and Derek Steyer.
21 News at 11, news that's worth your time.
WRS Wealth Advisors is the area's premier wealth and retirement specialist. With our combined 70 years experience and comprehensive wealth strategy, we assist our clients attain their goals. Call 330-965-0370 to learn more about our individual and corporate financial planning services, or visit WRSWealthAdvisors.com. Good luck, athletes!
At Greenwood Chevrolet, we go the extra mile for you.
By finding you the right vehicle at the right price.
And by being with you for every mile of your journey.
Now, we're going the extra mile for you with an additional $1,500 on your trade. Only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
Ah, the details. Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods is one fine ride. Perfect cornering, superb handling, sporty and stylish, power to spare, plus awesome mileage. Yeah, jaw-droppingly beautiful lines and well appointed with luxurious trim. Put more oomph in your life and start beholding the molding. Find your home's fine hardwood at BairdBrothers.com.
Planning a project around your home or rental property? Trust the electrical service to the local experts with 62 years of serving the Mahoning Valley. Joe Dickey Electric is your local go-to source for responsive, reliable residential electrical work. From everyday maintenance and repairs to new installations, electrical upgrades, and safety inspections, no job is too big or too small. Call Joe Dickey Electric today, 800-549-3976, or visit DickeyElectric.com. That's DickeyElectric.com.
For heating, cooling, and indoor air quality, the Mahoning Valley trusts MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning, offering worry-free repair, service, and installation. Call MP Vivo today for a free estimate.
MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning. We're your energy-efficient experts.
If
you're looking for a new Ford vehicle, why shop anywhere else but Tri-State Ford? Choose from our great selection of new Ford models. Plus, we've got you covered with our exclusive Tri-State Ford Advantage. It includes a 10-year, 200,000-mile warranty with your new Ford. Come see why so many customers from the Tri-State area buy their new Ford at Tri-State Ford.
Customer focus, community driven. Tri-State 40 Liverpool or visit tristateford.net.
Welcome back to a Tuesday edition of Running Point as we get set to close up shop and turn things over to the good folks at Power Hour, which you will be able to see and hear at the top of the hour. Before we go, I didn't mention this. The Cleveland Browns giving Malik McDowell a second chance at an NFL career. This kid was selected by the Seattle Seahawks in the second round of the 2017 draft. Unfortunately for McDowell, he had suffered a head injury in an ATV accident about 3 months after he was drafted, and he never played for the Seahawks. Well, he got into a little bit of trouble and was sentenced to 11 months in jail in 2019 for a number of offenses, including the assault of a Michigan police officer. They tased this guy, and, well, it didn't do much. McDowell is 6'6", 295 pounds. I don't know if he deserves a second chance. There are things that you shouldn't do. Assaulting a police officer would be one of those things. However, this is a country and this is a game that believes in second chances, and the Browns are giving Malik McDowell an opportunity at a second chance for an NFL career that never started. Whether or not this guy can play, we'll see. What I do know is there is a gaping hole in the defensive tackle position. Danny Shelton is back. They signed him to a contract. They have signed a bunch of people to contracts to see if they can plug a rather massive hole in the middle of the defensive line. Their D tackles are below average at best. And this is probably that and the linebackers, the two weaknesses that the Browns have. If there are a lot of weaknesses on this team, the D tackle and the linebacking core are the two main weaknesses of this team right now. And if Malik McDowell is able to restart his career, boy, is this going to be a great signing for the Browns. Again, I'm sure that he's going to get some backlash. And you know, again, you assault a police officer, you're probably not going to get very big of a chance. You're probably going to have a rather short leash. But we wish him the best nonetheless. All right, that'll do it for the show. Power Hour's coming up next. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Anthony is back tomorrow. We'll have a Wednesday edition of Running Point tomorrow from noon to 3 on YSN Live.